Beep boop. Beep boop. Hello. Alright, quick little... I don't know what the word is. Note, I guess. I said it on the Discord, but the internet has gone out like a couple times, so if you're watching the VOD and it's surprisingly short, chances are there's probably a second one. Because the internet probably exploded. Yeah, beep boop. Things beep when I turn them on and off, so that's all that comes to my brain whenever I'm switching audio back on. But hello, Sivia. Hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to the Spirit of Justice. There was something I was gonna say. Oh, I hope this is where, we're on... What thing are we on? Episode 4? Oh, guess I shouldn't have the mouse there. Whoops. But if I see Sadamati here, I'm going to be contacting my new lawyer. First name Shin, last name Anigans, because I don't want to think that he flew back all the way from Kararin again for a completely unrelated case. Also, Shin is spelled with an E and there's like an H or something in Anigans. And they're on quick dial if I need them. But I have the distinct feeling that this game will, in fact, put Sadamati as my opponent, if you can call him that. He's more like a wall, really. I just had to figure out how to climb it. Hello, Gum. Hello, Reborn. I'm sorry in advance if the internet goes out. I think it's the wind messing with something. Who knows? You can't win against the wind.
Hello.
With my hands, obviously. I just take my hands and wrap them around the wall's neck until he's no longer opposing me. Or rather, his stupid necklace. Then he can't oppose me if I just take that from him. That's his only way to stop me from talking. This thing is popping. But anywho, let's watch the thing. I hope the audio isn't popping on your side. It's probably just the silly, echoey music. I've already forgotten what happened, I just know someone drowned in a bowl of noodles. It's the only thing I remember. Stop eating your chopsticks. Oh, you're just imagining eating noodles.
4, 5, 6,
6,
7,
7.
8. What time is it? It's 9, 10, 11.
And he's dead. Why is he dead? Seemed like such a nice guy. Shisho's dead? No, do you think he did it? Oh no, if he did it, what do we do? Hey, pull yourself together. Don't worry, I have an idea. That never goes well. Why do people need to have ideas? It's always so early for these two. Like 9:45 a.m.? Go back to bed. What the heck? I guess I should have had that on the wait screen. Yeah, but Athena exploding was also funny. Who brings a defendant to his own trial late? Plus, the request was so last minute, I didn't have a chance to talk with my client. He's late for a very important date! Is he a rabbit? My name is Athena Sykes. You've already met me. Armed with analytical psychology and a full arsenal of legal know-how, and a lot of bluffing, I'm a fully competent defender of the Right Anything Agency. Different animal? Uh-oh. No, I wish my client would show up already. The trial's about to start. This is like the third trial we've just been informed that we're on at the last minute. Heh, appears we made it just in time. Where have you been? Trial's about to start, Simon. Oh. I'm surprised you're in this game. Need to get so worked up, Athena. His baldness can wait. No way he'd wait for me. True. And besides, why would I want to start off on the wrong foot with him right now, out of the gate? Dealing with such matters is a part of being a lawyer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, well, covering for your lateness is not. Well, sadly he was in jail for the past 7 years, so... You knew before the game came out that Blackwell would be in it? How fun. I assume he no longer has shackles, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, nah, I wear bracelets now, it feels comfortable. Still but a rank amateur, I see. This is Simon Blackwell. Might not look it, but he's actually a prosecutor. No, he definitely has the aesthetics of a prosecutor. And a psychological, I can't word. I'm having a brain explosion. Psychology. There we go. Maya was the other one. Is she on the box? Because Pearls is on the box of the last game, I think. Which is how I knew she was in this one. Or that one. I don't know if she's in this one. They haven't mentioned her yet. And some kind of Reaper. Psychology specialist. I can word. He and I go way back. Too far back. As for our shared specialization in psychology, we're both disciples of the same person, so to speak, but he's kind of my senior, I guess. But twisted sense of humor or no, I wish he'd stop treating me like a child all the time. It's not like he knew me when I was 9. Or whatever. I guess it'd be 11. Oh, where a right don't know and justice don't. Mr. Wright's abroad, Apollo's Apollo. He's helping Trucy with her magic show. Gonna be split in half, I see. Didn't I tell you? They're what? So neither one of them are here. Leaving you to take this on alone? Should have been later. Yep. Ye gods. Call Raitono back. It's not too late. Oh no, not too late at all. He would only need to know how to teleport. I wouldn't put it past him. Very well. Now set up for justice, Stone. Go grab him by the horns and drag him here. Apollo is literally in the middle of a show, Simon. Being split in half. May not want to admit it, but I got what it takes to take on this case. Just leave this to me and go watch from the gallery. We are once again back in the States, from Athena's perspective. We are in the States. They have made it clear that this is America. Just ignore that, you know, Francisca trained in America or whatever, but was still in America. I don't know, in the last case he broke his back just leaning over for a bit, so... They're making him out to be very fragile in this game. But hello, Mimikyu. Hope you're having a good day. But, you know, Phoenix is still out in Kararin or whatever, being hunted by rebels. For his autograph. Leave this to me and go watch from the gallery. As your defense derails into spectacular fashion? No, as I win the heck out of this trial. I'll be okay, promise. So wipe that look off your face already, would you? Anyway, I take it the guy behind you is... Yeah, he's your... He's asleep again. Oi, Bucky, wake up.
Ah! Ow. What'd you do that for, Simey?
Yep. I wasn't expecting him to be holding something. This cornstarch with water. Hello, Ellie. Hope you've been well and not exploding. Directing yourself appropriately, I suppose.
Who's this yellow chickadee?
She's your lawyer, such as it were. I'd say she's more green than yellow, however. I'm not on that color spectrum.
Lawyer? Sure doesn't look it, does she? Is she like your fellow apprentice or something?
Yeah, something like that. I've known her longer than I've known you. You could say we're bound to one another.
Okay, well then. Guess I better call her Miss Chickadee, then. Up there goes the tower.
Simon, this guy's not only rude, but he's 3 sheets to the wind at his own trial. I know we just met, but I'm all about ready to give him a piece of my mind. Do as you will, just save it for after the trial. Exploding a lot, well, I have no comment on if I've been exploding.
Miss Chickadee.
Don't call me that.
How do you do? Simon here's an old friend of mine. I'm the 4th generation head chef of Wet Soba. Wet Noodle number 4, Bucky Wet. Nice to meet ya.
Of course it just means drunk. Also, I don't like that he's number 4. The last 4 we were involved with exploded. It's nice to meet you too, Mr. Wet. So he can pull himself together when he wants to. If only the trial wasn't starting in a few minutes. Haven't been accused of murder that only occurred yesterday, you can relate. I'm afraid it's taken a toll on the poor boy. And you happened to be there at the theater where it all happened too, right? They said they found the Rakugo storyteller murdered in his dressing room. Indeed. The victim, master storyteller Taifu Tonido, was a longtime patron of Wet Soba. Master Tornado had been looking after Bucky ever since Wet Noodle number 3 passed away. I see. So the victim was kind of like a father to the defendant, huh?
That stupid old fart. Like a father? No way. He was always dishing my soba. He was putting it on dishes and then wiping the dishes off with my soba on him.
How dare you speak ill of him? Running your mouth like that is why they suspect you of this murder in the first place. Now pull yourself together. Number 3 must be rolling in his grave.
But beside me, the police, none of them believes me. They won't listen to me.
Looks like he's still in shock from the whole ordeal. Also, the police not listening to our clients? Wow, how abnormal is that? Don't worry, Mr. Wet. Everything's gonna be alright. So don't let your eyes get wet. I'm gonna defend you with everything I've got. You're in good hands now.
I mean, you believe me, ma'am?
Of course. No matter what, I'll believe in you to the very end. And at the very end, I'll punch you.
Gee whiz, Miss Chickadee.
Now come on, I need you to shape up, just like those al dente noodles of yours.
Yes, ma'am. My soba's the freshest.
But, Mr. Wet... Bucky, you great big pillock. How exactly you know this guy? I used to frequent Red Soba, and still do in fact. I've known him since he was a lad. That's why his father and Master Tonito were always so good to me. I didn't know you liked soba so much, Simon. I wouldn't expect one such as you, who eats meat slapped with slabs of bread, to understand the delicate taste and the subtle textures imparted by buckwheat flour. Like, he'd get along with Maya, but he'd also insult her in the same breath. Hey, that's just rude. But I digress. I'm all about flavor and subtlety and stuff, and, ketchup and noodles on my burgers. If I let Wet Soba in like this, I'll never be able to face number 3 or Master Tornado in the next life. Ah, I see. And that's why you came to me. You wanted somebody you could trust. It was never my intention to ask you. I'll show him I can handle it just fine. Well, I believe it's just about time. What? But we haven't even properly discussed the case yet. What's the matter? You look nervous, Athena. Don't tell me you're chickadeeing out. I'm just trembling with excitement of battle, that's all. Let's do this. Come on, Mr. Wet. Get up off the floor. Me, you've got a case to win and a dinosaur to walk.
Yes, Miss Chickadee. I'm gonna do my best.
Wet soba. Wet soba.
I wasn't expecting voice acting.
Wet soba.
Wet soba. Wet soba. Wet soba.
Hang on. Yellow! 2 bowls of noodles. Sorry, sir. No can do. Kinda busy at the courthouse. Huh? Did they hung up? Oh, that sucks.
How come they didn't take his phone?
Okay, let's do this.
He's not gonna do himself or his case any favors like this, Simon. Maybe you should let him go get some rest somewhere.
Let me rest. Maybe if I were a lump of regular flour dough for udon noodles, I'm fresh like my soba. You don't let soba rest. It's all about the free freshes. Grind the buckwheat seed fresh, cut the dough rib, boil the
He's blacked out. Oh boy, I just knew something like this would happen. Simon, what are these 3 freshes of soba he was talking about? First, buckwheat seeds or groats are ground to make buckwheat flour. How do I know all this? Don't worry about it. Then dough made with this flour is cut with a large rectangular knife into noodles. And then finally, the buckwheat noodles are boiled. Each step is done immediately, one after the other, so the soba is fresh when eaten. Oh, so that's what he meant. I wouldn't want him to make me any soba right now, though, that's for sure. Athena, there's no time for idle chatter. You need to get into the courtroom now. Just remember, as a prosecutor, I'll be unable to lend you a hand. Unless I was the prosecutor, which I'm not. So don't expect any help from my corner. There you go, treat me like I'm incompetent again. For your information, I wasn't planning on asking you for help anyway. Just you wait, Simon. I'll show you. And your little bird, too. Sorry, had to cough. I wonder if Taka also eats noodles. Mr. Wright and Apollo may not be here, but that's alright. I can do this on my own. I'm fine. That took a second.
Court is now in session.
I knew it. I can't actually tell if that's him, actually, but there's something silver there.
Court is now in session for the trial of Bucky Wet.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. And I'm here to... Hang on, where's my phone? Okay. Yeah, hello, Mr. Shenanigans. I'd like to make a request that you sue a man for shenanigans. There's absolutely no way that he took a plane back here. It's been like a day. And also, there's so many things going on over in Kararan right now. They need him there. Otherwise, they only have Pain. And they don't even want Pain. I wouldn't be surprised if they installed a law just to get Pain off the entire prosecution board, or just killed him. Is Emma also here? Did he grab Emma by the ear and drag her all the way back here after threatening to take her payment down too? Just make a second prosecutor. You have so many. Just bring Francisca back. She'd probably get along with Athena. I think she liked Maya occasionally. Ugh. Anyways. The prosecution's fully prepared, Your Honor.
What's this? No prayer this time, Prosecutor Sadamani?
I need a prayer. That is correct, Your Honor. To expedite these proceedings, I completed them beforehand in the lobby. In other words, people were kinda complaining. Yeah. I also want you to know that I thought of the shenanigans thing, like, at the end of the last stream. I was like, oh yeah, we're Athena now. I bet Sadamati won't be there. And if he is there, well, I've got someone to call. Also, if there's someone named Shenanigans in this game, don't tell me. I'm sure there isn't, because that's too much. Although the last guy was named real name, they couldn't just come up with some fake name. They had to call him real name. Couldn't just call him Mystery Man or something. Or, I don't know, Bobby Full Brown. Had to be real name. Could have just been Mr. Monk. Anyways. To expedite these proceedings, I completed them beforehand in the lobby. How very thoughtful of you. By the way, what brings you back to this country? They couldn't hire another prosecutor. Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth himself called on me to handle this case. So it's Edgeworth's fault. That seems somewhat spiteful on Edgeworth's part. Besides, I have a debt to repay. And though my opponent is yet a callow thing, I have no qualms with sending her down to hell. Please remember, you're talking to another person, Sadamati. Objection! If you have a score to settle, it's with Apollo, not me. But more importantly, I am not a callow thing. I'm a qualified and capable attorney. Then what is that yellow attire, if not proof of your immaturity, you small spring chick? Sir, you are wearing Sonic the Hedgehog earrings. Now cease your shrill chirping. Now, Prosecutor Sadamati. She is still only a teenager. Please go easy on her. Great. Now even the judge is giving me the kid treatment. Very well. Shall we begin, Your Honor? Yes, I suppose we should. Now then, Prosecutor Sadamati, please give your opening statement. I'll show them what I can do when I know literally nothing about this case. They'll be sorry they underestimated me. Certainly. Let the last rites of the victim commence. The incident is believed to have occurred at around 4 p.m. yesterday, May 12th, at a storyteller's theater called Kuru Kuru Te. The victim was a great master of the Tornado School of Rakugo, or comedic storytelling. His name was Taifu Tornado. I feel like I'm saying that wrong because there's definitely a pun in there somewhere, but... The scene of the murder was the theater's dressing room. Why is there a doghouse? It is accessible via the staff entrance hallway and has an inner and outer sliding door. Oh great. I was wondering if I should check my court record, but I didn't expect it to be completely empty. The estimated time of death is between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. That is a messy room. The cause of death is suffocation, though how the victim suffocated is yet to be determined. Although considering his face in a bowl, one could make the assumption that he was choked by Noodles. The autopsy found nothing unusual in his lungs or stomach, and there is no murder weapon. Not even the bowl. Quite bold of the murderer. I will now submit the incident report into the court. Prosecutor Sadamati, how can you name Mr. Wes the culprit? When you don't know how the victim was killed, or even with what? While it is true that the weapon, also it's ethereal again, there's no butterflies in this country, isn't that weird? While it's true the weapon and precise method are, as of yet, unknown, the accused is the only one who had the opportunity to commit the murder, according to these 3 people, who were also in the area, and could have committed the murder. I will explain this assertion in further detail as we continue. I guess this means he has some kind of evidence to present. Now, would the accused care to plead his case?
About that. Come to think of it, where is the defendant, Miss Sykes?
Sorry, Your Honor. I'm afraid Mr. Wet isn't feeling very well and is resting in the infirmary. Surely it is the lack of clear conscience that impedes him from facing this court. Great. Starting off the wrong foot already.
I think it's because they let him drink. And also because we always have cases the day after a murder, instead of doing any real research.
Mr. Wet is the head chef of a soba shop that frequented by the victim. On the day of the incident, Mr. Wet went to the theater at the victim's request.
And you know, he murdered him.
Taifu Tornado was a connoisseur of soba, as you can see in these photographs, of which I have to laugh. He was apparently making soba himself in his dressing room that very day. Typhoon Tornado? Okay.
I felt like I was saying the first one wrong, but I got the tornado part. Telling me forensics can't just instantly complete their job? They don't even know what the murder weapon is, so no.
The soba found at the scene is likely the soba he himself made there. Liking soba is one thing, but making it in a theater dressing room is a bit much, no?
Master Tornado truly had a passion for soba, didn't he? For a man like that to be murdered by a soba chef is simply unthinkable.
And yet, the accused has ample motive. For the victim's safe, we discovered the deed to the accused shop. Mr. Wet was to inherit Wet soba when he lost his father recently. However, it's believed that the victim stole the shop's deed during the transfer process. The prosecution believes the accused killed the victim in order to get the deed back instead of, you know, going through legal process to just get it back that way. I mean, who would want to be taken to court?
Murder over the deed to a shop. That does sound like a plausible motive.
Does it? So that's what this case is about? I wish Simon had filled me in a little better. I could have contributed more than just 1,000 buckets of cold sweat if he had. Defense. From your demeanor, I gather you know very little about the details of this case. Well, you see, I kinda was thrown in here at literally the last minute. You are dishonoring the soul of the victim by appearing in the courtroom unprepared.
You are a prosecutor, sir. The only reason you know anything is because of that.
You are an embarrassment to your profession. You putrid egg yolk. Egg yolk? That's no joke. I'm sorry. Paul was a red pepper and now I'm an egg yolk. If we get a green pepper, we can make a pretty good meal. We've only just started and I've already been demoted to Spring Chick. I'm ready to call my witness, Your Honor. Let us listen to the words of the one who was present when the crime was discovered. Someone who was there when the victim's body was found.
Very well. Witness, please take the stand. Whoever you are, I don't know. Ah, there are a pair of shoes, I see.
Oh, it's Simon. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Simon Blackwell, prosecutor.
Prosecutor Blackwell? You didn't tell me you were gonna take the stand.
You didn't ask. Simply wasn't time.
What a shame, Prosecutor Blackwell. Had you shared the dawn scene you witnessed beforehand with the defense, we could have moved this trial along and saved the victim's soul that much faster. Darn scene? What in the world did Simon see?
Prosecutor Sadamati, was it? Before I give my testimony, there's something I'd like to confirm. That butterfly real?
By all means.
This case involves rakugo, a very traditional form of Japanese comedic storytelling. Do you have enough knowledge of this art form to handle this case competently?
Are you implying that I'm not qualified for this case?
Not yet. I'm simply trying to ascertain your familiarity with the topic for now.
It's a prosecutor's duty to learn the background of any case he takes on. I did some research on Rakugo last night and have grasped the overall idea of it. That's right, I can learn anything over one night.
How much could you possibly grasp in a single night?
Rakugo is a form of entertaining storytelling that originated in the land of Japan. In it, the storyteller sits alone on the stage with only a fan and towels, and the Rakugo artist tells long, whimsical stories, giving each character a distinct voice. This traditional art was originally invented by monks to make sermons more interesting. Does that mean this stream is Rakugo? I mean, I'm not really sure I'm giving them a distinct voice, but there's something funny about this. I do have a fan, actually. Are you satisfied? If not, I could explain the 12 types of endings to such stories. Or shall I perform the famous story of Jugimu instead? Ah! It appears you put on a bit of study. Your acknowledgement is most welcome, Prosecutor Blackwell.
I can see why you're known for being quite thorough in your research, Prosecutor. It's a shame you've lost every case you've been in. Now, I'd love to see you perform that story you mentioned, if you don't mind.
If that is your honor's request.
We don't really have time for this.
Jugamu. Your Honor, could we please get back to the trial?
Oh, right, of course. I nearly forgot.
Athena, isn't it actually in your best interest to let him waste time? Then your client might wake up. Seriously? Of all the things for you to forget.
Ahem. Now then, back to the case. Prosecutor Blackwell, please tell this court what you witnessed.
Alright. So now he's a witness instead of a prosecutor. Well, so you definitely could have mentioned this, Simon. Went to the theater yesterday and arrived at approximately 4 p.m. Went straight to Master Tornado's dressing room to say hello. Bucky went into the dressing room thereafter, only to come storming out a while later. Master Tornado's junior disciple, Uendo, apparently entered the room soon after. That's when Uendo discovered Master Tornado's body. Now wait just a minute here, Prosecutor Blackwell. But with testimony like that, you're practically accusing Mr. Wet of the crime. Yeah, there is a second prosecutor here, but he's a witness. All I can do is state what I saw. I can't help how it appears. But a qualified and capable attorney such as you should be able to dispatch with it, right? Well, yeah, duh. Alright, guess I better start getting all the info out of him that I can. No, not the first time. I think that was Edgeworth the first time. But, you know, he was still a prosecutor in that game. Approximately 4 p.m. Prosecutor Blackwell, what did you go to the theater for in the first place? I went because I had received an invitation from Master Tornado. Here, see for yourself. It was a special show commemorating his junior disciple Uendo's promotion. It's also an occasion to announce the boy's succession in the stage of Uendo 2. So what exactly does it mean to succeed the stage name? Huh. You really don't know, do you? In performing arts, a name succession is when an artist inherits a predecessor's name. I see. So there was another Uendo Rakugo artist before, and his disciple has succeeded him, huh? And what exactly did your invitation say? Contain a simple letter of salutations and outline of the show's program.
Oh, appears Typhoon Tornado was going to perform Taki Soba, or Time Soba. Or Togi Soba? He's famous for masterful pantomime of eating soba using only his fan as a prop. And Uendo was performed Sobi Se, or Soba Glutton. A soba-themed show, I see. Seems you know a thing or two about Rakugo yourself, your baldness. First performed with the senior disciple Geru, was followed by Uendo. And lastly, Master Tornado. Uh-huh. I see, so that's why you happened to be at the Storyteller's Theater yesterday. What happened after you arrived? Went straight to Master Tornado's dressing room to say hello. Was he there?
And how did Master Tornado appear when you said hello to him? Oh, he was dead. I went with the intention of greeting him, but ultimately we didn't actually meet. You didn't see him? Why not? Geiru escorted me to the dressing room, but we heard the sound of Rakugo being performed from within. Thinking the master was rehearsing, we decided to wait in the hall until he was done. You heard Rakugo being performed in the dressing room? Yes, not just me, but Geiru as well. In other words, you can confirm that the victim was still alive around 4 p.m. Correct. I couldn't hear him clearly through the doors, but I'm sure it was Master Tornado. Could tell because he was the time sober routine being performed in there. That means the victim was killed sometime after that. Please tell us detail how Mr. Wet appeared at the time. Geiru and I were waiting in the hallway for Master Tornado to finish practicing when Bucky appeared and entered the dressing room with his things. What happened after that? Heard what sounded like Bucky shouting inside the room. About 10 minutes later, Bucky came out of the dressing room looking rather irate. This is most likely when the murder was committed. The victim was an elderly man. It would have been entirely possible to kill him with the span of 10 minutes. Do you know that from experience? I better come up with some kind of counter-argument and fast. Master Tornado's junior disciple, Window, apparently then entered the room soon after. What do you mean by apparently? Didn't you see him go in? No, I couldn't. I wasn't able to see the dressing room door from where I was standing at the time. Geiru was right in front of it, so I'm sure she saw it all. I see. And why do you suppose Window went to the dressing room anyway? He had just finished his routine, so he was making courtesy call. Disciples just paid their master respect right before and after each performance. And all disciples are expected to do this? Yes, it's common courtesy among Rakugo artists. I see. Can you tell us what happened after the Window went to the dressing room? Certainly. He looked really annoyed to say that certainly. And how did Window act at the time? After Window had been in the dressing room for 2 or 3 minutes, we heard the scream from inside the room and Window came flying out. Did you hear any signs of struggle at that time? No, just a Window's woeful scream. I see. Well done, Prosecutor Blackwell. Your testimony has given us quite a glimpse into the sequence of events, in that you literally know nothing about what happened. Thank you, Prosecutor Blackwell. And now, please allow me to summarize your testimony. While Prosecutor Blackwell and Geiru were in the hallway for Master Tornado, the accused came along and entered the dressing room with some items in tow. He was heard shouting for a time inside the dressing room, and then about 10 minutes later he came back out of the room seeming rather angry. I didn't expect the W to bounce, but okay. Stomping its ethereal feet. A short time after the accused had come and gone, Window Tornado went into the room. A few minutes later, after having discovered the victim's body, Window gave a scream. Shouldn't he have screamed right away? And came running out of the hallway from within. Prosecutor Blackwell and Geiru then ran into the room and saw the body for themselves. Also, there was a dog outside. Just ignore that part. From the circumstances, it's quite clear the accused murdered the victim. It's crucial testimony indeed. Could we get some fingerprints or anything? Defense. An eyewitness has given conclusive testimony. Why not let it go now and allow the victim his last rites? Not on your life. If your Window went in the dressing room too when it was the first to discover the body, then who's to say he didn't commit the crime? The Window was in the dressing room for a mere 2, perhaps 3 minutes. He could not have possibly committed murder in that time, nor without making any noise. Sadamani, people die very quickly. Oh, Simon, why'd you have to give that awful testimony? Prosecutor Blackwell, can you give me something a little better to work with here? Isn't it up to you to ask the right questions? I'm certainly willing to tell you all that I know. So if you're truly as capable as you claim, then draw out what you need yourself. Or, just make it up like the other two do. No time for your twisted games, Prosecutor Blackwell. Just admit you don't remember it all that well. Does this thing he yelled actually mean anything? Prosecutor Blackwell, watching you collide with the defense is like this. Like this, I see that you are no prosecutor. Begone, witness, you shall haunt this sacred hall no more. Huh. How dare you treat me like some evil spirit to be exorcised? I'll remember this, you blackguard. Don't worry, Prosecutor Blackwell. I've got this. Would I have my way, he would not be the only one here to step down. You half-boiled, putrid egg yolk. I'm half-boiled now. Yeah, I object to the notion that I'm a gooey, smelly mess. Prosecutor Blackwell's testimony was like a lowly opening act of a Rakugo show. He may hold the title of prosecutor, but this time, he stood on the side of the defense. To restore balance to this trial, I would like to present an actual witness for the prosecution. And who is this witness? The person who was with Prosecutor Blackwell when the body was discovered, and probably the actual murderer, who knows. She's another entertainer at the Tornado School, Miss Guru Tornado. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Once again, they are shoes. I see. Please state your name and occupation, witness. I thought we were done with clowns. I also thought we already had the worst clown. April May, but a clown. Well, gum, she was already a clown. Just, she wasn't dressed for it. Oh, it's this case. What does that mean? Well, she was clearly a cat. Cats can be clowns. I know they usually make the balloon dogs, but they could be a cat or a boat. I guess she could be Harley Quinn, but I'm glad Harley doesn't have the nose. Hello, everyone. I'm here to represent the Tornado School with a twisty twist. How did... And balloon! There you have it, a stunning balloon hat. I said the boat thing. I should have said hat. How did Simon stand beside this person and handle it for several minutes? It's me, the balloon artist you all know and love, Giru Tornado. Just call me Giru. And a 1, and a 2, and balloon. Yep, that's definitely April May. Well, what a way to capture your audience attention. I dare say I can't take my eyes off those balloons. Please tell me you're talking about the hat, Your Honor. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Judgy, I'm so glad you liked my performance. Would you consider joining my fan club? Pretty please? Yes. Oh, absolutely. And please save your fanboying for after the trial, Your Honor. Anyway, Geru, I can't help but notice, but you seem awfully cheerful for having just lost your master. Well, of course I'm sad, but Shishio would scold me if I didn't put on a big smile. Never show sadness, smile, 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 with a twisty twist. Ta-da! It's a cake! Well, that is impressive, although I don't like that it's staring at me. And balloon! There you have it! One gorgeous cake! I see. I guess an entertainer's gotta do what an entertainer's gotta do. Her balloon art's worse than Roche's tests. All I saw was severed monster head. Same. Hiro, you're obviously a balloon artist. Wow, what gave it away? So how did you come to be a member of the Rakugo School? Well, my late father, that is, was a Rakugo artist, you see. So I joined the tornado school to be just like my dad. Someday. I see. My father and I owe so much to Shishio, our master, but that Bucky wet. Ooh, how could he? I want to see him pay for what he's done as quickly as possible. Why are you holding a balloon? Are you gonna make a noose with that balloon? Your distress is entirely understandable. My condolences for your loss. And like, not only that, but he... You have more to say about Mr. Wet? Every time he comes to deliver soba to us, he yells at me. He always tells me to get away. Is there any reason why he would say such a thing to you? He says the smell of my perfume will get into his soba and ruin it. Like, how can he say that? This is a great scent. How very rude of him. I don't blame you for being upset. Judge, please. I mean, he's not wrong. If it's a really strong perfume, like, that can knock someone out. Excuse me, Your Honor, but please don't let Guru's balloons bias your judgment. Mr. Wet hasn't even been proven guilty yet, remember? It will be interesting to see how long that fire of yours will last, defense. Sadamari, you've lost all your trials. Now then, Guru, please share the truth with this court. Like, I wish the prosecution got a little more humble after they lose 2 trials that they thought they'd win for sure. Yes, Guru, your testimony, please. Oh, the cake's still there, great. Gonna have to deal with that staring at me. From 4 p.m. to a little after 4:20 p.m., when Shishio's body was found, Simon and I were standing at the hallway in front of the dressing room. Before we went to discover the body, the only person who had gone in there was Bucky. Come to think of it, a little while before Bucky showed up, Jugamu was barking like mad. Yep. And he still insisted that it had to be Maya that did it. Even though she was only half in one. Prosecutor Blackwell, do you have any objection to the witness testimony? I thought I left. No. Make up your bloody mind, sad monk Sadamani. First you exercise me, and now this. You need only do as you're instructed by this humble servant of the Holy Mother. As there are no objections, Your Honor, let us move on to the salvation of the victim's soul. Hey, I'm the defense attorney here, Prosecutor Sadamani. I might just have an objection or two once I actually cross-examine the witness. So what are you asking Prosecutor Blackwell for? I'm the one you should be checking with. There's a passage in the sacred scriptures of Quranism. Ignore the egg, for it is just a yolk, and chicken to boot. To stir the wind is beyond the power of a spring chick. In other words, the inexperienced are useless. With that in mind, it seemed more judicious to consult Prosecutor Blackwell. Ha ha ha! Doesn't even see you as an adversary, Saxtono. Well, I won't let either one of you insult me, even though you already did. I'll show you I'm no inexperienced spring chick. I've won a case. Your Honor, I'm ready to cross-examine the witness. I hope you can make Prosecutor Sadamari see you as a worthy adversary, Miss Sykes. I'll allow you to cross-examine. I'll allow your cross-examination, so you better strike while the iron's hot. That was a random reference, but okay. Don't like that cake. Or her nose. Her nose sticks out way more than anything else. So the murder must have happened sometime between those 20 minutes, correct? 20 minutes isn't a lot of time, is it? I don't know. I mean, what do you want me to say? That's what happened, you know. Is that right, Simon? Oh, I guess I'm still here. Yep, Hiro and I can both confirm the Master Tornado still lived around 4 p.m. Oh yeah, you can, can't you? You can't, the door was closed. See? Why didn't they go in when Bucky was in there? That was my question too, Mimikyu. I tried to call my lawyer about this whole situation, but he hung up on me. He'll be getting a strongly worded letter later. I think you were there in front of the dressing room. Means you were able to see everyone who went in and out, right? Yeah, that's the entire point, Athena. Yeah, or are you insinuating that I was daydreaming or sleeping while standing up or something? That'd be a pretty cool trick. Yeah, my lawyer was also in another country. He's in Kurarin right now. He's gonna be showing up as the next victim in the case. And Phoenix is gonna have to defend whoever killed him. No, of course not. I saw everything, I tell you. But fine, so you say anyway. But did you really? I'm curious about the dog, but I'm sure I'm gonna miss something if I don't press these. Only defendant and innuendo entered around the time of the murder. That's right. That's why it must have been Bucky who killed poor Shishio. Let's take a deep breath, okay, Giru? So not a single other person set foot in the dressing room during that time. I already told you over and over, didn't I? There was nobody else. I must apologize on the lawyer's behalf. Even her memory is that of a spring chick's. Please overlook her transgression as best you can. Oh, I see. Poor thing. Hang in there. Hey, who are you calling a bird brain, buddy? Pretty rude. Who's Jugamoo? Jugamoo? That's my dog. I keep him at the theater. Let's see. With a twisty twist, it's a dog! Oh, I thought it'd be on the right side. That is a terrifying dog. And Blue, there you have it, my cute little Jugamoo. He's, kinda creepy looking. Oh, but he's really good boy! And why was Jugamoo barking? Do you think it's maybe because he saw someone suspicious? If so, then we'd have a new suspect in this case. Now why was he barking again? Oh, I remember! Because it was time for me to feed him. I went into his yard and gave him some food. Couldn't somebody have slipped into the dressing room while you were doing that? Nope, the door out in the yard was wide open. I would have seen if anyone went into the dressing room. Prosecutor Blackwell, come down the stand for a sec, please. I thought I was already here. How many times must I do this? Seriously, just give me another chair. There's so many chairs out there in the hallway. You saw what Guru was talking about, right? Why didn't you mention it before? I can't be expected to remember every minute detail. You can be. You are a prosecutor. Well, remember them now, please. Guru go out into the yard. Yeah, that's where all her milkshakes were. Oh, her nose is normal there? I guess she doesn't usually wear the outfit all the time. I figured this might be a Buggy the Clown situation where that's just her nose. And nobody knows why. Yeah, I remember now that she went to feed Jugamoo. I saw her looking towards the dressing room quite frequently as well. Also, look at that little dog. You recall anything else? Looked as though she were feeding the dog a great quantity of dumplings or something. Jugamoo couldn't finish them all, so he buried the rest in the corner of the yard. That's about all I can remember. It reminded me of what one of the dogs here do. They don't hide them, but little Chewy got a roll, just a single bread roll, and he just sat there holding it for hours. Not eating it, just holding it. It was too big for him to eat, so he just guarded it with his life. Eventually I tore it up for him and he ate it. Looks like Giru was telling the truth. Your Honor, I'd like Giru's last statement to be added to her testimony. As you wish, defense. I was in the yard where the door was wide open, so I could keep watch on the dressing room. Does that matter? You can't really see the door from that angle, right? So you're able to keep an eye on the dressing room while you were out in the yard, where all the boys were. Is that correct? That's right, the door to the yard was wide open. Sorry, but that makes zero sense. Take a look at this diagram of the backstage area. There's a clear contradiction with this diagram and the witness's testimony. Oh?
I'm afraid I don't understand, Miss Sykes. I'm too distracted. Please point out what contradicts the witness's testimony. I mean, do I have to? I don't know which part I'm supposed to be pointing at. Kira's in the yard near the doghouse. Prosecutor Blackpool even saw her there. While she was out there, the door to the yard had been left open. Ah, I see. Yeah, the door of the yard was wide open, and Giru said it would have blocked her view, making it impossible for her to see the dressing room. What? No way! Where'd that balloon come from? But even if there were admittedly a few moments Giru was not keeping watch, how much would that really affect this case? It would greatly affect this case. Are you crazy? From the spot Prosecutor Blackwood stood, he couldn't see the dressing room door either. Anyone could have entered the dressing room during that time without being seen. Just because Simon wouldn't move 3 steps to the left. Gary, why did you try to hide the fact that you weren't watching the dressing room? What? Objection. Hide the fact. You speak as though you speak as though she thinks she had something to do with the murder. Rather than deliberate deception, it was more likely a simple oversight, right, witness? Well, I was so shocked by what happened, I was just confused, that's all. Even though she is trying to keep up a brave face as a brave front as an entertainer, truth is that she is being torn apart by grief. For her mind to be in turmoil is hardly unexpected. You're quite understanding when it's not the defendant, huh? Yes, it must be very difficult indeed. To a disciple, one's master is akin to a real parent. Surely her shock is immense. The way this lawyer tries to pin the blame on this poor soul at the first opportunity. All I can say is defense attorneys are heartless creatures indeed. Are you talking to a mirror right now? But that wasn't what I was trying to do. Is it beyond your comprehension, defense? Your unskilled argument is scaring this witness even further. Or scarring, one of the two. And if we asked the people of this courtroom, I am sure they would agree. But the gallery doesn't get a say in this. Are you afraid to find out that they think ill of you? Or that perhaps you are in the wrong? Listen to them now, with that keen sense of hearing you are so proud of. He's right. What is right and what is wrong. Except for the past 2 or 3 trials where they were totally wrong. I thought you're still in training, isn't she? Why is she all by herself? I heard the voices of the gallery. I could hear the voices of their hearts. It's so intense, I feel alone up here, fighting by myself. Are you afraid, child? It is ludicrous to come to the trial with such a paltry preparation of the soul. I command you to leave this courtroom at once. But I can't give up. I have to keep pressing on. As long as there was a moment when nobody was watching the dressing room door, the defendant can't be convicted solely on the Prosecutor Blackwell's and Giru's testimonies. Even now you continue to resist? You are childish in defeat as well, I see. I'm not out for the count yet, Buster. I'm just getting started. Despite your posturing, is it not true that your resolve could crumble at any moment? With but a little push, you will surely succumb to despair. Could you stop it with the butterfly? A little push, such as with this piece of conclusive evidence. Conclusive evidence, huh? The one you conveniently didn't present until now? That is correct. We found a critical piece of evidence at the scene of the crime. The victim's dying message, which clearly implicates the accused, Bucky Wet. Look at these Japanese playing cards, known as karuta, lined up on the table. These special English version karuta cards spell out a message. Of course, they're English here. That message, wet number 4. Wet number 4? You mean wet noodle number 4?
Yes, Wet Noodle number 4, as the fourth head chef of Wet Soba is also known. This message points to none other than the accused, Bucky Wet. And, you know, no one could ever just mess with a dying message made of cards. I always feel bad for the localization team.
That makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
No, Judge. Well, great job, Mr. Prosecutor. Oh no, this is really, really bad. And no one's ever done that in the history of the series. We never had an autopsy report updated or anything. From it died immediately to may have lived a few seconds for this specific issue. No, it's never happened. Oh no, this is really, really bad. What do I do? What do we do? Ah, now we have 2 pictures. I'll forget about the second one. Would you still carry on your futile fight in the face of this irrefutable evidence? You can say whatever you want, but we won't know until we... Objection. It is cruel to give the accused false hope. You only compound his suffering. He's asleep right now, so that's not a problem. Wise people of the courtroom, do you not agree? Death! 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 It's right. Cruel to make him suffer when there's conclusive evidence. What an incompetent noob. I feel bad for the victim and the defendant. What? I'm trying to prove Mr. Wet's innocence here. Is it not crueler to sentence him to death when he didn't do it? I know you can hear them, defense. The voices implore you to save the accused soul. It's time for you to let it go and move on, you inexperienced lawyer. You lack the competence with which to accomplish anything meaningful here. Is he right? Is this too much for me to handle on my own? What good is she doing anybody? She should just quit right now. What is the point of all this? Now, defense. Leave everything to this humble servant of the Holy Mother. Silence. I'm over here now. Trying to use your keen sense of hearing against you to manipulate the trial, Athena. What a cheap trick for a supposedly holy man. Simon? They flipped your model around. You fop doodles in the gallery. Can a man watch a trial in peace? This inexperienced amateur is about to turn the trial around. That prosecutor really thinks she can turn things around? She's done it like 3 or 4 times. The mood in this courtroom's starting to change. Prosecutor Blackwell, what are you doing at the defense's bench? I grew bored of watching from the gallery, and honestly, it was really tiring having to get up there, and then get back down, then get up there again, then get back down. Like, seriously. Why do we not have more chairs? Besides, if I were to leave this trial to this spring chick, leaving my favorite sober shop in the process, I would be quite cross. You voluntarily stand on the side of impurity and sin. Truly, what a fool you are. Think you were so easily manipulated by his parlor tricks. Whatever happened to the qualified and capable of Athena? I just let my guard down a little bit, but it won't happen again. Then gird up your loins and steel yourself for battle. I'm not girding up anything in this skirt. Fair enough. But I am ready to get serious. Seems there's now yet another soul I must cast down into hell. I was in prison for a long time, buddy, and hell sounds no worse than cell, to be honest. Even rhymes. Ah, but the fires of hell will not be the end of your suffering. For the sin you have just committed, you shall surely be reborn as a panda in your next life. Is that a threat? A white and black reverse panda, that is. Oh no. And you shall be put into a zoo to be exposed to public ridicule. People love pandas. A threat like that won't work on Prosecutor Blackwell. After all, he's already used to looking like a panda in this life. Who you calling a panda? Sorry. I see that you're both prepared to face fires of darnation. Giru, thank you for your service. You may step down now. Okie dokie. Bye-bye, balloon! Take my balloons with me, I guess. Wow. I was kind of hoping we'd hear like a pop in the distance of her just popping the balloons. Does everything have to be about balloons with her? Now then. I have a witness prepared to testify about the Cruder cards. And who is this witness this time? The first to discover the body and someone who witnessed the crime scene firsthand and probably touched the cards. Mr. Window Tornado. The time has come for that ponytailed pair over there to finally let it go and move on. Very well, let us bring the witness then. Would Taka visit Panda Blackwell? He would help Panda Blackwell eat. I've never seen a more guilty person. Why does it always start at their feet? Witness, please state your name and occupation. I am the Rakugo storyteller, Window Tornado. Even my performance isn't worth watching, I will certainly watch my words. I wouldn't want to say anything thoughtless and get arrested. After all, that'd be a Raku no-no. Thank you, everybody. That's my time. Good night. And then he just leaves. Yep, I knew it. Hold it! You can't leave yet. You only just introduced yourself. Oh, my. Are you a fan of mine, miss? I'd hope not. My fan's in my hand. Would you like my autograph? One moment. Let's see. Ow! Why didn't they have the model actually hit her in the face? What do you think you're doing? No need to stand on ceremony. My fan deserves a fan, after all. Alright, that's my time. Bye! A fan for a fan. Nice one. Oh, why, if it is Simon! How are you on this fine day, sir? Quite a dilly of a pickle we found ourselves in, wouldn't you say? I don't believe I've ever seen you talk quite so much, Window. Never performed in a place like this, you know. I got butterflies, can't you see? That's right, I stole the ethereal butterfly from that guy. Why do I always get the weird ones? You? Pardon me, witness. As much as I enjoy your banter, I believe we had better return to the case at hand. I suppose you're right. In that case... I was promoted to Futsami yesterday and received the stage name of a window. The show was our way of celebrating my new name and middle rank standing. And then that happened. Ugh. Never dreamed something like that happened, not in a million years. And just as I got my chance to start repaying my debt to Shishio too. Yeah, plus I'm worried about Giru. The way she clung to Shishio, poor thing. I told her to keep stiff upper lip, but then it popped. Stiff like rigor mortis. Keep telling those lame jokes and Shishio will come scold you from the grave. I wouldn't mind getting yelled at, you know, if it meant seeing him again. I'd throw a rave over an empty grave. Window, please, as charming as your various characters are, this isn't a Rakugo stage. Let us hear your testimony now, witness. And really should probably change the voices when you're doing different characters. Tell the court about the evidence left at the scene. The proof of the accused's guilt. Also nice of you to bring your own little box to stand on. I noticed Shishio's dying message right away. The stiff cards are right there next to the stiff, you see? Hey now, enough of the silly puns already. Anyway, I got the meaning right away. I knew it must have been talking about Bucky. What else would it be talking about? That was the Master's final message, left as he was drowning in saba broth. Now I'll hold on to my fan. Because why not? Not that you can see it. It's so like Shishio to write Bucky's... not to write... It's so like Shishio not to write Bucky's name outright. Plain and simple wasn't his style, even as he was, you know, being murdered. I feel like your character goes out the window when you're dying. Well, that was certainly more entertaining testimony than usual. Variety of characters performed by the witness is absolutely splendid. But he should be performing any characters in the first place, Your Honor. Anyway, though, the murder weapon hasn't even been determined yet. How can you say the victim was drowned in soba broth? It's obvious. All you have to do is look at the crime scene. He's got a point, but, you know, the police haven't agreed to that yet. He's found with his face shoved in a bowl. It's only natural to assume he was drowned in broth and noodle for the noodles. Except we're not to assume things, Uendo, so please stick to just the facts. My, so like a soba chef to kill someone this way, wouldn't you say? And with the Karuda message he left behind, it's clear Bucky Wet did it. If he was drowning in a bowl, he wouldn't have been able to do that, sir. Setting aside the issue with the murder weapon for now, that dying message certainly does seem to be irrefutable evidence. Indeed, it proves the absolute guilt of the accused. Ugh, even if I gotta admit I can't see how that message could mean anything else. I wish Phoenix was here. Bucky used the soba for the deed, all to get back at the soba shop deed. Just gonna keep making puns, huh? Duh. This testimony makes Mr. Wet look super guilty. I have to do something. That's his conclusive evidence? What a farce. What do you mean, Simon? What's this? I thought you said you weren't planning on asking me for help. I did and I won't, thank you very much. Simon must have found inconsistency in the testimony. I better listen carefully and try to see what he found. What did he find? Athena might not ask for help, but I will. Feel like I should press that one. And I will. The cards were on the table your master's body was slumped over, right? You must have been surprisingly calm to notice them at the time. As I said, the stiff cards were right next to the stiff, so they were hard to miss. But wouldn't it have been more natural to notice the victim rather than the cards? The message just caught my eye, because the stiff cards were right next to the stiff. Yeah, I get the joke, yeah, but the fact hardly seems significant enough to make a person take note of them. Stiff cards, next to the stiff. So basically there was no real reason for them to catch your eye, was there? You didn't answer the question. I get it, it's a joke, but... That's right, I need you to give your testimony, not perform a scene. Please remember you're on the witness stand, not the stage. Hey, look at all these wonderful people in the audience. It's only natural for an entertainer to want them to have some fun. I guess we can let a few jokes slide, right? Yes. Ah, the inevitable bleeding of your work into the other areas of your life. I know how that is. I find myself being unwittingly judgmental in my personal life, too. You know, when my grandson says he didn't steal the cookies from the cookie jar, I say he's guilty! And he has no defense. Right, it's exactly what I'm talking about. Well done, Your Honor. I guess you can't judge a judge by his cover. Oh. I advise the defense not to be so critical of the witness. I mean, seriously, it's not the worst one we've had. Yes, Your Honor. Much obliged. I mean, we did just have a clown on the witness stand. The cards do spell out wet number 4, which could be interpreted as noodle number 4, I guess. I suppose you took this to mean Bucky Wet? There's only one wet noodle around here, and you've seen that giant 4 on his back. The only interpretation that makes sense. Yeah, I guess so. But wait a minute. What is it? What if there's another wet noodle in the area? There's not. But what? Did I say something strange? Bug is the sole heir to the shop. Enough of the ludicrous straw grasping. Hey, how was I supposed to know? Listen to the testimony again and find the glare and inconsistency. I mean, that one is pretty stupid. So that one's clearly flipped over. Ugh. I don't know which one it wants me to present. Victim lined up this car in his final moments, while flailing around and drowning. How can you be so certain that's how it went down? I know, Shishio. You would never let someone get the last word on him even in death. With his face in the soba broth and his consciousness fading away, he left a message that pointed towards Bucky as he left this world. And, you know, Bucky just didn't notice for some reason. The only way it could have happened. Wait. The only way? Now you're just speculating. Look, a dying message is something you leave at your dying, right? I saw a scene like that in the detective show. Iwindo, we have a saying in my country. Silence is more precious than diamonds. I definitely didn't just make that up. Please do not speak any more than is necessary. But talking's my livelihood, you know? I talk all the time. This and that, truths and untruths. Can't stop myself from talking. Yep. Hopefully you'll stick to the truth without any of those untruths. I don't know which thing it wants me to present. I mean, I assume it's the picture, but... But don't you think it's strange? Could a dying person really leave such a convoluted message? Even in the throes of death, it was like Shishio's nature to throw a twist somehow. Truly the consummate entertainer till the very end, don't you think? Was he really that great of a man, Simon? Been no easy task, to be sure. But who knows? He wasn't an entertainer for 55 years for nothing. If I ever bite the big one like that, I want to leave a message as good as Shishio's. Well, let's hope it never comes to that. Simon, are all Rokugo artists like this? Hard to say. Could simply be the eccentricity of an entertainer, perhaps he's hiding something. Well, he doesn't have to entertain people in the court of law. And if he is trying to hide something, maybe it'll show up as a contradiction or something. Weird that's 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. still, but... I don't know. Victim was making soba noodles from scratch in the dressing room. The room was covered in soba flour. There are 2 drink cans in the fridge. I can't wait for that part to be relevant. There are indeed 2 drink cans in the fridge. Was the fridge open upon his death? Did they just randomly open that? Which thing am I looking at here? Oh yeah. Oh, I figured it'd have a second page. I didn't mean to read this earlier though. Here's a show, simple greeting, run down the show program. Guru's perform a balloon act. Tornadoes do a soba glutton, and then Tornadoes do the time soba routine, which he was apparently practicing. Doesn't say when they were supposed to do those though. I didn't press this one. When you saw the cards on the table, what made you think they were Master Tornado's dying message? Well, it was a code message right there next to the body. I'm sure anyone would have thought that they were to name his killer. I love murder mysteries and often watch them on TV. Oh, I see. I saw the similar scene during the murder mystery marathon last Tuesday. That's what made me think this must be a dying message. That was it? Okay. Hmm. Oh well, I guess I'll just present the thing and believe in myself. I guess the big issue is if he was drowning in soba broth, why is it wet? I don't know. Are we gonna get it horribly wrong? Yes. Knock knock, who's there? The evidence in that statement. This evidence in that statement, who? They contradict each other, that's who. Anything else I haven't checked? Probably. Not even a proper call in response to a knock knock joke. And what's more, her claim does not even make any logical sense. Your performance merits neither applause nor latency, defense. At least we got to see that. Everyone's a critic. Got me some slack. Why didn't Widget do the knock knock part? Or she should do knock knock and Widget should do the who. The answer is no. There's nothing I haven't checked. I don't think so. Did I not check this one? Did I miss pressing one? I'm just dumb. Yeah, I did press this one, as I thought. Did that. This is the one about what if there's another... I'm sorry to have you... Oh, I guess it's the nothing was found in his lungs. So he didn't drown in that? I don't know if that's really relevant. Logically, I'm sure it's relevant, but... Okay. Just the nothing is in his lungs, so he couldn't have drowned. Although if his face was shoved in the soba... I don't know. There's a contradiction in Nuendo's testimony. And would you care to explain the where, Miss Sykes? No knock-knock jokes, please. Oh, okay, that's coming out. Certainly, Your Honor. According to the autopsy report, nothing unusual was found in the victim's lungs. Ah, yes, does say that, doesn't it? If he had drowned in a bowl of soba, then there should have been soba broth in his lungs. But since there wasn't any, means the victim suffocated with something other than soba broth. What? This is the contradiction you notice, isn't it, Simon? Sure. Not bad at all. It only took like 20 minutes. Nope, hang on. I suddenly just dropped a lot of frames. Am I still alive? Looks like it. Guess I showed you, sort of, kind of. Just ignore that Brilly's dumb. But if drowning in the soba broth wasn't the cause of the death, then when was the victim's face thrust into that bowl? Typhoon Tornado's face was thrust into the bowl after the murder, obviously. Thanks, Mimikyu. Because no soba broth was covered in the victim's lungs, his head must have been placed in the bowl after he was killed. And that's when the soba broth must have been spilled into the Karukuta cards. In other words, the victim could not have lined up the cards as he was drowning. Also, he couldn't have done that anyways, because he wouldn't have been able to see. I see. It was done after he was already dead. But why would the culprit do such a thing? Afraid I don't know yet? Objection. To place blame on the defendant, obviously? Huh. You boast of psychological expertise, yet you cannot determine such a simple motive. My sides are liable to split at the absurdity. Hey, what? I suppose you know why? Of course. Desecrating the body in that manner indicates a strong sense of enmity on the part of the perpetrator.
Yeah, that does make sense. Certainly paints a clear picture of the culprit's intense feelings towards the victim.
Yes, we have an ancient saying in my country, LOL. Feelings of resentment over the theft of the soba shop's deed, no doubt. Just great. Now the judge has even more unfavorable impression of Bucky.
Silence.
Must you come undone at every juncture? Have you met me? The culprit had time to set up Master Tornado's body. Do you think they would have honestly failed to notice the dying message? Good point. The cards were right in front of his body, after all. Rationally speaking, there's no way the culprit could have missed that, huh? Objection. Ah, but was the accused rational at the time, given the way he stormed out of that room?
Silence.
That's just conjecture. Never mind that. I have something more important to ask Window. Me? Saw the coup de cards firsthand, did you not? Would you care to tell us about them in a bit more detail? Those tiny crime scene photos show us precious little what I wish to know. Well, those cards are from Shishio's special soba scenes of Tokyo Past set. Each card is related some way to soba. That's really dumb. Spare me the history lesson, or tell me how the cards looked at the scene and no more. Well, there was soba broth spilled all over them.
That's not much help, I'm afraid. Prosecutor Sotomayor, you have a photo of what shows the cards more clearly.
No. I do. Please accept this meager offering, Your Honor.
Oh my, what delightful looking stupid cards.
There's like a lady drinking, they're eating noodles, there's a dog? I don't actually know anything about soba, so... Then there's a guy eating noodles, there's a guy flexing, there's 4 cards, there's... I assume those are chopsticks. And then there's a lady receiving thanks for noodles. Well, well. Damn, prosecutor Sad Monk's conclusive evidence apart should be a breeze with this. Huh? Don't tell me you haven't noticed. Don't be silly, of course I have. Not noticed anything. I can't exactly say that now, can I?
Miss Sykes, do you really see a problem with the prosecution's claim about these cards?
I didn't say a dang thing, but, well, go on then. Alright, it's do or die. All I have to do is study the picture and, these cards are kind of a riddle. We're rearranged. These cards were rearranged.
Now, how can you tell?
Please take a good look at these cards, Your Honor. The answer is right in front of us.
Where exactly should we be looking, Miss Sykes?
Why are these questions? Please focus your attention on the soba broth stains on these cards. The outline of these stains all match up with the larger stain on the table.
Oh, would you look at that? You're absolutely right. And?
Please recall the soba broth was spilled and got the cards after the murder? When the victim's face was placed in the bowl.
Yes, go on.
By the stains, we can see the culprit deliberately rearranged the cards after that. In other words, this measure was altered in order to pin the crime on my client.
What? And what if you put the cards back in their original positions?
We can restore the evidence and see who the cards were really pointing towards. Or, you know, just see they weren't pointing towards literally anyone, because they're just cards.
That's true.
And he noticed that and was still judging an innocent person for no reason. He's a good guy. But what are we waiting for? Let's do this. All I have to do is rearrange the cards so the stains match up. Oh boy. Let's see. Where was the W card originally? Right there? Perfect. Your prosecutors are the good guys. They just want to kill everybody that they don't even know if is truly guilty. Now the H card is next. Let's see. Where was this card originally? Right here? Yes, now the E card. Where was this E card originally? Perfect match. Now's the T card. I'm sure this won't point towards our defendant even more, right? Just clearly say wet on it. It's good enough. There, that looks good. Now the O. Where was the O card? Oh, it's not a guy. It's like a guy covered in bandages getting hit? Or what is he doing? Is he trying to make more noodles? Why is that a card? The last one is 4. Gee, I wonder where it could be. Why'd you yell at that one? Owen. The message went number 4 was originally supposed to say Owen 4th. This original message is our clue to the identity of the true culprit. What? That indignant look on prosecutor's sad monk's face is positively priceless. This is absurd. Is it? It was originally Owen 4th? Who the heck is that? It wasn't went number 4? Maybe the lawyer's smarter than we thought. Or maybe we're dumber than we thought. Order! Order in the court! Well, I knew it was spiteful, Sivia. How would he keep taking his parking spot if he's in Kararin, though? Sorry, Sivia sent me another comic. Well, I never would have imagined that there was more to these cards than meets the eye. Might have been better if he just said the Steel Samurai was lame. Then I could see Edgeworth being extremely spiteful. Without telling him why. I mean, it did just cost him a case. Now that that's settled, what does Owen 4th mean? I have no idea. Wait, am I... Who else do you suppose to provide an explanation? Of course it's you. I hadn't thought that far yet. Change the cards around all you'd like, but if you cannot explain what the message means, then as worthless as you are, defense. No, it completely undermines your entire argument, Satomati. And so the spring chick that fancies itself a graceful swan is brought back down to earth. I have to do something, but what? Still your thoughts for a second. There's a perfectly good witness to question over there. Oh, right. Kinda forgot he was there. Come on, Athena, get a hold of yourself. Uendo, does the phrase Owen 4th mean anything to you? Nah, no one named Owen in the Tornado family, or a circle of friends. Go ahead, ask anybody you'd like. You can't be serious. Having rummaged your empty mind, I see you have, as expected, turned up nothing. No one was talking to you, monk. Afraid I have no idea what the devil Owen 4th is either. But the fact remains that the cards were rearranged to pin the blame on Mr. Wet. That in itself proves the defendant isn't the real culprit. Whoa, 2 slams. Prosecutor Blackwell's right. Also, ow, my wrist. Besides, the important question here is not who does the message point to, but rather who rearranged the cards. My music started up again. Why didn't you point that out earlier if you already knew it? Sorry, they interrupted me. In any case, there were two opportunities for someone to arrange the cards. First was when Mr. Wed entered the dressing room, and the second was when the window discovered the body. Are you accusing me of rearranging the cards? Me, who came to testify to the goodness out of my heart? Well, you didn't exactly come running out screaming straight away, did you? Also, every single culprit has kinda come to testify at least once. Even a mere 2 or 3 minutes is more than enough time to set up some devilry. What exactly were you doing there, Window? Put down the tea and spit out your answer. Unless your answer is the tea. Mr. Prosecutor, what's a guy supposed to do at a time like this? Silence is more precious than diamonds, witness. Therefore, you need only stay silent. The defense is devious. They are waiting for you to make a slip of the tongue. Nice of the judge to allow Simon to be here. Oh, that's what they're after, is it? In that case, Your Honor, I've decided not to say another word. Very good. After all, your right to remain silent is protected by law. Since when? Well, Prosecutor Blackwell, any other brilliant ideas you'd like to share? There are no laws here. Do you hear that, Saxono? Rakugo artist who's afraid to speak. Who's ever heard of such a thing? Are you trying to taunt him into talking? Such a petty trick will never work. I assure you it will. That's right, I'm not gonna fall for... Oh, I just said another word. I'm only asking to hear your story. Besides, it's not your job to tell your tales if there's an audience to listen. Even so, I have the right to refuse to answer. The more you keep quiet, the more we want you to talk. That's simply human nature. Isn't that right, people of the gallery? Also, it makes you seem way more suspicious when you just refuse to tell us what you were doing for 2 minutes. When there was a dead body in the room. Even this wonderful audience in front of you, you still refuse to talk? If so, then perhaps you chose the wrong line of work, my friend. Are you saying I should quit because I'm not afraid to speak my mind, I'll have you know? Oh no, never mind what I just said. It is scary to talk, absolutely terrifying. No, as a Rakugo artist, I must talk. Oh no, my personalities are conflicting with each other. If I don't, how can I ever show my face on stage again? Your Honor, I'm ready to testify. He did it! He managed to convince the Window with his power of suggestion technique. Bullet for you, Window. That's as a real Rakugo artist should be. Alright. Not really sure what just happened, but if witness wishes to testify, then by all means, please do. To be turned by such an obvious ploy. What a man of weak spirit. You just did the same exact thing. Just the opposite. In the dressing room. After my performance, I went to visit Shishio. I called him outside the room, but he didn't reply. Simon did it. Prosecution's always innocent. Wait, Simon is the prosecution. Oh no. He's a prosecutor. When I entered the dressing room, I saw Shishio slumped over the table, motionless. What's up? That's your testimony? From what I can tell, there do not appear to be any inconsistencies in this testimony. He's just missing a few minutes of detail. Of course there aren't any, because I'm not trying to hide anything. Prosecutor Sadamani's right, I don't see anything inconsistent either. I did pick up on some faint discord in Nuendo's heart. Ponder all you would like, defense, but it is pointless. Your Honor, I believe there is no need for further deliberation. Hold it! Again, not your job to decide that, buddy. I disagree, Your Honor. I detected discord in the voice of the witness's heart. There's clear indication that the window is facing some sort of inner turmoil. Are you saying what I think you're saying, Miss Sykes? Yes, Your Honor. Defense would like to conduct a quick therapy session on this witness. Objection. Window, there's no need for you to submit to so-called therapy. Fine by me. I have nothing to hide. Bring it on. Ugh, dang it. Why do they never listen to me? Piteous fool. Why will you not listen to the guidance of this humble servant of the Holy Mother? Because you kinda look gross, man. The witness wishes to proceed. I see no problem, prosecutor. One ear and out the other. Seems this performer has no need for your so-called guidance, prosecutor sad monk. Just know this, Uendo, your folly will surely earn you divine retribution, says me. Thanks, Simon. I'm gonna make the most of this opportunity you created for me. And see if I ever go to any of your shows. Just keep your wits about you. I will. Uendo, could you tell us again about what happened in the dressing room? But this time, speaking to the robot. After my performance, I went to visit Shishio. I called to him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. When I entered the dressing room, I saw Shishio slumped over the table motionless. Is it that he's missing the yellow one? Bring out my special card. Yes. Yeah, I have a card that tells me what the collars mean. Even though I'm noticing something strange with these emotions. Some thin stranger with cheesy toe skin, you say? No, something strange with these emotions. No time for cheesy jokes. How could you have heard some thin stranger with cheesy toe skin? I don't know. Maybe it's me who's got some cheese in my ears. Did he will the floor to open up and swallow his cushions out of shame for that bad joke? He's not a real entertainer if you feel shame. Don't lower yourself to his level. The point I'm trying to make is I noticed something unexpected in your emotions. Now stop hiding and come out where we can see you. With your hands up. Ayla, please bring the witness a few replacement cushions. What do you mean replacement cushions? Did they actually disappear? That was this unexpected thing you noticed. Whoa, double. Oh, come on. It's not said a few cushions, not a few dozen. I did say that. Now that we've all had a good laugh, please continue, Miss Sykes. Who's laughing? Focus, Athena. Don't let yourself get rattled. When you entered the room and saw your master slumped motionless over the table, you weren't the least bit shocked, Window. Don't you think that's a little odd? Oh, I'm back to normal. Is it though? The lack of surprise means you were prepared for what you saw. And I think I know why. The reason Uendo wasn't shocked when he saw his master's dead body is because he knew about it. The other two weren't relevant at all. Uendo, I think maybe the reason you weren't shaken is because you already knew you would find your master dead. No. What kind of thing is that to say? You got it all wrong. Oh, right. I just remembered something. I thought Shishio was just sleeping when I first saw him. I was really sad about it. You thought he was sleeping in a bowl of noodles? What made you think he was asleep? Well, he had his head and arms up in the table as if he were taking a nap. Oh, and one other thing. There was that note, too. A note? What note? Ah, he must be talking about this. Appears to have been written by the victim. Why is there a camel on it? Is that a joke? Allow me to read it. Resting. Do not disturb. Yeah, that's the note I saw. After reading that, who wouldn't think Shishio was napping? That's a pretty reasonable assumption. Why wasn't this submitted as evidence? And also, Where was this note? You gotta be kidding me. Typhoon's note. That's right. I saw this note, and that's why I thought Shishio was asleep. I want to change my testimony to include that statement. Alright, I'll run an update. But why were you sad? Yeah, I know. I've played all these games, I know how it works, but I'm still gonna complain. Called in from outside the room. They didn't reply. Ta-da! I opened the door and I thought he was sleeping. Something seemed off, so I rushed over to him. Why are you mad? I was shocked to find him dead. I couldn't believe my eyes. Why are you mad? Mindo, I noticed something funny in your emotions again, and I don't mean haha funny. Funny, you say? I guess entertaining my caliber can make people laugh even with my emotions. I didn't mean like that kind of funny. Quite the opposite, actually. When you entered the dressing room, I see that you suddenly felt anger. What I want to know is, what made you feel angry all of a sudden? What? Well, let's see. Oh yeah, now I remember. I was going in, I was whacked by a little piggy on something. I was annoyed at my own clumsiness. Relatable. What, you mean you stubbed your pinky toe? Just a little bump on my piggy. No big deal. It's embarrassing, really. Sounds more like he's hiding something. I better dig it a little deeper. No need to be embarrassed, Window, but I'm afraid it's something we need to look into. I don't really see anything you could have stubbed your toe on. In the area around the dressing room door in this picture. But maybe there was something there at the time. Window, what exactly did you stub your toe on? Objection. This clearly has no relevance. What an irrelevant question. You dishonor the soul of the victim with these unnecessary delays. Nanamani, I wasn't talking to you. You tell her, really, who doesn't stub their toe every once in a while? You really gotta fuss over every small detail like this. Well, the thing is, someone's dead, and we need to find out why. Even the most subtle of fluctuations in a person's sight can clue us into his truth. That's why it's important to get to the bottom of this question. Plus, if I back down now, who knows what new insult Simon will hurl my way. There's really no trace of what window stubbed his toe on by the door. What in the world might have been there then, but it's not there now? The table? It does look like the table's moved. Just giving the whole area a good look. Like, these don't seem like they moved, really. And also, if he stubbed his toe on that blade, there'd be a bigger problem. Also, the fridge, which has this weird... Why is there a... Oh yeah, that's the flour. That's right. Also, whatever these are. Are those soba noodles? But I think it's the table. I think he moved the table by hitting it with his foot. And then probably went to the fridge, I guess? And then turned around and was like, oh yeah, my boss is dead. That's weird. Well, if I'm wrong, you're all banned. Wait a minute. Well, it does appear that something hit the table and moved it. Nino said he stubbed his toe as he was entering the dressing room. Uh-huh, yeah. That table looks pretty far from the door. But bumped in the table also be a clue to what Windows stubbed his toe on? Careless answers only hurt us here. Think carefully before you speak again. Right. I didn't get a thing for that, but they were like, yeah, people might think you're gonna move the table. What in the world might have been there then, but it's not there now. Not the TV, that's for sure. This thing? I can't really tell what this is. I mean, it's a pot, but... Does it have wheels? It's one of these. Is it the board? Whatever this rip thing is, which is the flower, I guess. Oh, did he hit the flower and then it went flying across the room? That would be dumb. Take a good look at this photo of the crime scene. The thing disappeared, so... Do you see it? Long track that goes from the door all the way across the room. Now you mention it, I do see traces of something getting dragged. And the drag mark ends... Let's try this tactic instead. Window, why was the TV moved there? Uh-oh. Am I still alive? Looks like it. Alright, the thing said welcome to chat again. I was like... Uh-oh. Did I die? The TV was dragged and then plugged in. But how did the... Boy window. Curiosity for you. This Stable Master tornado slumped over, looks like it was moved. You happen to bump into it while you're moving the TV back? Uh-oh. Why did you speak too soon? It's weird Sapphire didn't see that message, but I see that message on the thing. Well, says I'm still online. Submit. It broke for a bit. Well, sorry if you missed any lines. Such as Simon being Simon. Squeak, squeak. I keep dying. Great! Great. Googly, googly. I can see the modem kind of blinking off and on, but it usually does that. I wonder how this sounds, by the way. I'm leaning over. I'm sorry. Do I have a history button? I do. It doesn't have a sound. Or did I roll my stupid thing down? I did. Okay, what was the last line you saw? Didn't want to bump into it again, so I put it back where it belonged. Performance on stage can be viewed in the dressing room using that TV. I did try to say he bumped the table. And then Simon was like, well, let's not jump to conclusions here. There was something else there. Yeah, it was very clear that something moved the table, so they gave me a freebie. I was like, yeah, that's real weird, but hang on. That's why amateurs are such a bother. Sorry. No mood to play nursemaid here, but that's what it takes to save the soba shop. Oi, window, here's a curiosity for you. This Table Master tornado slumped over, looks like it was moved. Having to bump into it while you were moving the TV back? Oh, really? I went for the bag, for the whatever that is. Oh my, yes, you're right. The TV hit the table just as Shishio's body was moved with the jolt. That was when I first realized Shishio was dead. Oh, but how scared I was. I see. Thank you. Finally getting a more precise picture of how the body was discovered. But I'd wager you need to put the spurs on the window just a trifle longer. Right. You keep asking Simon to bail me out like this. Time for me to regain my footing and really stand on my own. Because we don't have chairs. Window, what you said just now about discovering your master's death. Could you please describe all of that again for the court in detail? Alright. I guess I'll do that. But before you do, let me just plug in the latest information. That you moved a stinking TV. After my performance, I went to visit Shishio. I called out to him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. When I opened the door, I thought he was sleeping. Oh! I tried to enter the dressing room, but I stubbed my toe in the TV. When I put the TV back in its normal spot, I realized that Shishio was dead! Why did he hide this? See, he slumped over that cluttered table. Oh, Shishio. Okay, why are you surprised? Or confused? That's odd. After the initial shock of finding the victim dead, you reacted with surprise again. What was it that surprised you, Indo, besides your master's death? What do you mean? How can you see my brain? What's more, you're even more surprised the second time than the first. What could have surprised you more than finding your late master? Search me, your little thing must have made a mistake. It doesn't do that. Girl's as sharp as a trout, to be sure. Rude. But her ability to hear people's emotions is absolute. Now get to remember, Innuendo, what was it that surprised you? That was a compliment, right? It was pretty fishy. Back to 100, huh? No, we pushed him too hard. Now he's mentally all over the place. His emotions are completely out of control. Out of control? Care to explain how that's relevant? You know how normally I listen for the hidden emotions of witness voice, right? From there I look for inconsistencies between their testimony and those emotions. Sometimes a person's feelings can run too high, making it hard to get a proper reading. So that's how your matrix programs works. Fascinating. I'll have to keep that in mind next time we're in court. Ordinarily, it's just one emotion that runs out of control. It seems there's nothing ordinary about this time. Oh no. He's super mad! After my performance, I went to visit Shishio. I called him from outside the door, or outside the room, but he didn't reply. When I opened the door, I thought he was sleeping. Tried to enter the dressing room, but stubbed my toe on the TV. When I put the TV back to its normal spot, I realized that Shishio was dead. See him slumped over a cluttered table. Oh, Shishio. I knew it. What's got your knickers all in a bunch now? I don't have any nickels. Window has multiple emotions running out of control at the same time. Never seen anything like this, ever. Not even a fool brat? How does one bring a situation like this back under control? I have to find the root cause of his tangled mess before I can treat him. I can identify what's causing this emotional rampage, then I can touch probe to dive further. I need to point what I think is the root cause and touch probe again. Through this process, I can identify exactly what's causing Windows so much distress. That'll help bring his emotions back under control. That or he'll explode. Kind of a coin flip on that one. In that case, let's get started, shall we? Alright, can't guarantee success, but it's definitely worth a shot. Time to look at the root cause of Windows' rampaging emotions. Okay. I'd assume it's this one. I'm going for that one first. Yeah, it's definitely the... I get it now, the cards were the root of it all. Don't try to deny it. Can't hide your feelings from me. The dying message that was left at the scene of the crime was what was causing your distress. If the dying message was the cause of all those feelings, that means the phrase Owen Forth must mean something to you. He sunk again. Bye-bye. There! Noise level 0, finally! And what's that mean? The dying message consists of 2 words, Owen and Forth. Thank you for spelling it out. But neither of these 2 words have anything to do with this witness. This topic warrants no further argument. Sure, there may not seem to be any direct connection between the window and the message. For now. But why don't you wait and decide what's necessary after you hear my theory? Because you've hit upon something, Athena? Yep, my theory is right. We can finally solve the case of a window and the mysterious Owen Forth. Well, go on then. I can already tell this promises to be interesting. Now, please share your theory with the court, Miss Sykes. There was something puzzling to me about Uinda's out-of-control emotions just now. Namely, that there were 3 distinct reactions present. I had never seen that before, and I wondered how it could be possible. Is there a conclusion to this meandering musing of yours? Hold your horses, I'm getting there. We don't have horses. We have birds. So, could a person flip between 3 distinct emotions of such intensity like a switch? In the end, I concluded that it just wasn't possible, if you ignore, you know, the phantom. So that's it, is it? Bit unconventional, but I'll grant it's possible within the realm of psychology. In the realm of psychology? I'm afraid you'll have to explain it for the old man up here on the bench. Your Honor, my theory is that a window... I mean, I like the robot one, but... You know, I made the joke, but I didn't expect it to be true. With so many distinct personas, it's clear to me that the window has dissociative identity disorder. What does that even mean? Your Honor, the defense would treat this trial as a child's jest. Multiple personality disorder? A preposterous proposition indeed. Would you not agree, witness? How did she know? How did she figure it out? Palkuka. I can't believe it. I did it, Simon. I've read it on papers before. But to think I'd see a case of it for myself. Blimey, Rakugo artists tell stories as different characters, but as different personalities? Hey you, lawyer girl. Got a problem with us, huh? No problem at all, really. This is all very hard to believe. Now that we've established that the witness has multiple personalities, could each of them please introduce themselves to this court? He's so understanding. I'm a window tornado, Rakugo storyteller, as you know. Hello everybody, I'm Patches, the friendly jester here. Haha. Kisagawa, courtesan. And is that all of you? Yep, that's all of us. There are 3 personalities in total. Window, Patches, and Kisagawa, huh? Well, Simon, what do you think now? You're one lucky duck. Just be glad they're dense enough to help you out. Can't you just straight up say I did great for a change? You appear to be quite proud of your self-defense, but all you've done is infringe upon the privacy of the witness. I couldn't disagree more, prosecutor, whatever your name is. Now that we know there are 3 personalities, a new way for us to interpret the meaning of the certain piece of evidence has risen. A new interpretation. Oh, now I'm very curious. What is this piece of evidence you're talking about, Miss Sykes? Knowing that we know about Uindo and his personalities, this now makes perfect sense. I assume it means the 0 and 4th, but... Eh. The Karuta cards? That's right, Your Honor. Recall the original dying message left at the scene. We didn't have a clue what 0 and 4th could have possibly meant. But now, with this new information about Uendo and his personalities, isn't it possible that 0 and 4th actually means... a secret 4th personality of Uendo's? A personality named Owen?
What?
Parkuka. Uendo must have kept his dissociative identity disorder from us because he didn't want to be associated in any way with that dying message. No, that's not why. We kept our disorder a secret for a different reason altogether. We've been taking advantage of our affliction to act out various Rakugo characters. If word of this got out, well, our reputation as Rakugo artists would be tarnished, and as would the Tornado name. That's why we kept it a secret from everybody except members of the Tornado School. So really, there is no 4th personality, just the 3 of us in here. Plausible enough sounding story. But it doesn't prove you didn't rearrange the card, does it? But... I will concede this highly likely that the witness rearranged the cards. Which kind of gets rid of my entire argument, really, but we'll ignore that. Is Prosecutor Sanamani actually agreeing with us? However, is it not also possible that the accused killed Master Tornado? Why are you doing this? And then left that message in order to frame the witness? No, that is entirely impossible, but whatever. That would also heavily imply that Owen Forth still has something to do with this witness, but... And upon noticing the cards when he had found the victim's body, Uendo rearranged them. Fantastical tale, but a tale nonetheless. No one outside the Tornado School knew about Uendo's multiple personalities. Uendo just finished saying so himself. That is also true. He did literally just say that. Ah, that is true, but ultimately meaningless point. The witness was only in the dressing room for 2 to 3 minutes. That's far too little time to commit murder, wouldn't you say? Objection? No. And who's to say he couldn't have done it before his discovery? Ah, that spring chick memory of yours. Have you already forgotten the Prosecutor Blackwell's testimony? Simon's testimony? Oh. Guru escorted me to the dressing room, but we heard the sound of Rakugo being performed from within. Thinking the master was rehearsing, we decided to wait into the hall until he was done. That's right, until just a few moments before Uendo entered the dressing room. Taifu Tornado was confirmed to still be alive. Ah! Not only that, but Uendo was on stage until just before he discovered the body. A bulletproof alibi that I have already confirmed with several audience members. Oh no! I also heard that his Rakugo performance that day was a steaming pile of... Well, you get the picture. Well, that's rude. He's right here. Yeah, I'm afraid so. Really stunk up the stage, I did. And yet I have a perfect alibi. Indeed. Why not lend the coup de grace on the defense by describing your alibi witness? Okie dokie smoky. I don't really need his alibi. We just proved that it couldn't have been... I was on stage just a moment before I went to the dressing room. The entire audience was my witness. And my performance was a huge bust. Not a single soul laughed. That sucks. I'll never be able to live down my terribly I bombed during a very important show. Uendo was on stage before he found the body, so he could not have committed this crime unless it was, obviously done earlier. Time to let it all go, defense, and move on. But get this, Prosecutor Sadamati. Right thing any agency never gives up. We fight to the bitter end. Allow me to say this once more. Let it go and move on. Allow me to say once more. bite me. I'm never giving up. Let it go and never! Alright. This is pointless. You should have taken advantage of this opportunity while you could, you foolish child. Your worthless convictions only serve to prolong the accused's suffering. It's whatever, it's not like I'm gonna die. If words will not sway you, then perhaps pain will. Ah! Huh? Oh no! Anything but this. How did he perfectly get it around her? Taka, please save us. Boom! Should I do something about this? What's the big idea, Prosecutor Sadamani? I'm gonna sue you for assault. That was but a small dose of punishment for your misguided convictions. Are you now a bit more inclined to give up as instructed? And he's done this 3 times now. He throws beads and then somehow they get tighter? And that's supposed to, you know, do something? How is this allowable? I don't know. A few years ago we were getting whipped every time. And we had a coffee mug thrown at us. And you know, the bird, but you weren't gonna argue about the bird. Where is the bird? Where did he get the beads back? Why did we give them back? In that case, you must require another dose. Good job. Oh, they actually added the sound of it falling to the ground. Not bloody likely. Nah, that's right. I can also do random violent actions in the courthouse. Remember, I'm also a prosecutor. I don't give 2 flips about your beliefs, but if Saxton were to submit to you here, I won't be able to eat good soba anymore. That's right, it's all about the soba. For Mr. Wet's future and Prosecutor Blackwell's stomach. I will never give up. You will rue those words, defense, of that I can assure you. As I've assured the last 2 defense lawyers that, you know, ignored me. You can accept being whipped, but not against... but not being bound by beads. Why? I was on stage just moments before I went to the dressing room. The entire audience was my witness. My performance was a huge bust. Not a single soul laughed. I'll never be able to live down how terribly I bombed during that very important show. That part is true. Franziska was more likable than this chump. I mean, Blackwell was more likable than this chump. And... not Von Karma. Edgeworth, definitely. Not Payne. I would prefer this guy over Payne. And then Godo, of course, was... I'd say he's on the same level as Blackwell. They both have the same kind of theme. Am I missing anyone? How can we be sure it was you who was on that stage? Are you asking whether or not I could have been some imposter? I guess so. Unlike a big arena, the Rockgo Theater is a cozy little place. Oh yeah. I guess there was the best. Does he count? Oh wait, I am forgetting a musical prosecutor. He was good. I liked his air guitar. I just kind of forgot he was a prosecutor because, you know, last time we saw him he was a pretty helpful guy. Glavin, Gavin, whatever his name is. And Clavier Gavin. Yeah, was usually the most consistently nice of the prosecutors. Didn't attack us or yell at us for being dumb. Like, all the other ones are pretty violent. In some way, shape, or form. Be hard to fool an audience in such an intimate setting, don't you think? Yeah, I guess you're right. Good! I'm glad we cleared that up, because I guess you could say... the entire audience was my witness. We have the audience come up here and be a witness. Is there anything special about the stage or your performance that you can tell me? For example, were the lights dimmer than usual? Were there any problems or accidents? Not a thing. Everything was the same as always. Mr. Prosecutor, you questioned the audience, didn't you? Yes, of course. Apparently nothing seemed amiss to them except, well, one small thing. One small thing? Oh, it's so embarrassing. I tried my best, really, I did, but, you know, after your master gets killed, it's kinda hard to make a joke. Hers was a bust! Not a single soul laughed. Do you have any idea what went wrong? I'm not sure if it was my performance or if it's just that particular audience. Maybe it was the story I picked. Every entertainer knows what this kind of thing happens from time to time. I mean, when's the last time Billy got a laugh? I guess that makes sense. Still, I wonder what he could have flopped at his own commemorative show. Maybe I should dig into things a bit more? Yeah, how many people were there? I don't know. How many people were there in the audience when you were on stage? Well, let's see. We drew a full house, so I think there must have been 50, maybe 60 people in the audience. That's quite a lot of people that aren't laughing. Exactly, I dropped a big stinky bomb in front of all these people. It was a catastrophe, I tell you. I was sweating buckets from start to finish. That's exactly how Apollo performs in court sometimes. Athena, please, he's not even here! I see, thank you. After the statement, Your Honor, I'd like to leave it out. It's fine. Guess it doesn't really matter how many audience members there were. Not really. Never mind, Your Honor. Don't need to add that statement to Windows testimony. Alright. I don't care. But that does mean I need to add the other one. I'm sure that's important. Because you weren't supposed to do that story, I'm betting. You tell me which Rakugo story you performed? I could, but I'm not sure it would mean anything to the uninitiated. Well, even if I might not get it, can you at least try me? Alright, if you insist. The story I performed is called Tokisoba, otherwise known as Time Soba. Time Soba, huh? Maybe Undo's right. He's only said the name of the routine. I'm already lost. Ah, so you performed Time Soba, did you? What? You know it, Prosecutor Sadamati. In the course of my studies last night, I became familiar with a number of stories. I must say, defense, you would do well to prepare yourself for the next trial. That would require me to know what the trial is. Simon, what's Time Soba about? Look it up yourself. Allow me to give an overview. The story takes place on a winter's night. A man orders a bowl of soba at a street stall. You know, this entire trial has one big issue. I kinda want a bowl of soba. How are you doing, sir? What can I get for you? I see you sweet top katamari soba and mixed whatever soba. I'll have a bowl of shippaku, my good man. It sure is a cold night, isn't it? But there's nothing like a hot bowl of noodles and soup to warm the soul. You know it is, sir. One shippaku coming right up. So how's business? Not so great, sir. Is that so? Well, that's great, because things can only get better from here, right? Wow, Prosecutor! It's impressive and disturbing that he just knew the whole thing from the top of his head. The customer talks on and on like this. Finally, when he is done eating, he goes to pay for his soba. So how much do I owe you? That'll be 16 mon, sir. I see. Sorry, but I only have a small change on me. I'll count the coins to your palm so you can hold out your hand for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, what time is it? It's 9, sir. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Thanks, and bye. Ha 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 ha. Very well done, Prosecutor Sadamati. That was excellent. Huh? I don't get it. What was so funny about that? Don't you see? The customer paid with coins, counting them out one by one. Then, just after counting 8, he asked about the time. And the soba vendor answered with 9. Oh, now I get it. He made the vendor say 9 and then continued counting from 10. That exactly. He cheated so the soba vendor out of 1 mon with his smooth talking. Oh. Story continues with another man who saw the whole thing and tries to do the same. But he bungles the trick and ends up paying more than 16 mon for his soba. Story ends on that punchline. You can look up the rest of the details yourself. Or, I'm sure Prosecutor Sad Monk over there would love to perform it for you after court. So basically it's a story about a man cheating on his soba bill. That's kind of petty, isn't it? Is it really all you have to say about this classic story? Time soba is such a well-known staple of Rakugo, the skill of the artist. Objection. Fine, so you studied a lot. He almost seems jealous. We have the time for a lecture detour right now, Prosecutor Sad Monk. Oh, I wanted to hear a little bit more, but I suppose it's off topic. Getting back to the matter at hand, Miss Sykes, the witness stated that the story I performed is called Toki Soba, otherwise known as Time Soba. Would you like to add this statement to his testimony? Did I add that statement to his testimony? Yes, of course, because I don't want to read through all that again. Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to have it added. Hey, well, add it to his testimony. Whoosh, there it is. But you weren't supposed to do that. Right? Yeah, you're supposed to do Soba Glutton routine, and then he was supposed to do Time Soba. I thought I read that right. Isn't there something odd about the routine you just performed? Odd? No, I don't think there's anything odd about it. But that's exactly what I find odd, the fact that you don't think it's odd. Objection. We are discussing the witness's alibi at the moment, defense. The show's program is completely irrelevant. Objection. That's where you're wrong, Prosecutor Sadamai. The reason being, it contradicts the statement the witness just made. Window, do you know what this is? No, what is it? This is an invitation to the show, sent from Master Tornado to Prosecutor Blackwell. Including the invitation is the rundown of the show's program, which clearly states that Time Soba is to be performed by Master Tornado himself. No! He's doing the double. Window, why did you perform the routine your master was scheduled to do? Well, you see, the reason for that is, how do I say this? You see, let's say it was, a prank. That's right, it's just a little joke, you see. I was trying to surprise Shishio by performing his routine before he did. I don't know if I buy that. Is doing the victim's routine really just for laughs, or... Hey, didn't Simon happen to hear Time Soba coming from the dressing room? During Uendo's performance on stage? Seems like too much of a coincidence. Wait, can it be... What's the matter? You look like a hen with a dozen eggs to lay. Stop comparing me to birds! And also, that doesn't even make any sense. And cease this bird-brain timidity. If something has occurred to you, then lay it on for us already. Don't breed resentment in those watching your performance. Okay. I don't have a ton of confidence in this theory, but here goes. It looks like Uendo's alibi checks out, Your Honor, but even though he was on stage at the time, he may have been trying to obfuscate a crucial detail about this case. I'm referring to the soba bill the man tried to skimp on the witness's story. No. I'm not talking about the Rakugo story, Your Honor. Oh, I'm sorry. I was still thinking about it. And then what are you talking about, Miss Sykes? What Uendo may have been trying to deceive us about was... Uendo tried to deceive us about the time of the victim's death. What? Objection? Bah! What gibberish! Prosecutor Blackwell even testified at the time of the victim's death. I know, but he only testified that way because he and Guru had been completely taken in. You mean by the soba bill thing? Would you please forget about the story for 1 second, Your Honor? I was deceived? Pray tell, how did Uendo manage to deceive the two people while he was performing on stage? That's easy. All he had to do was use a certain prop in the dressing room. Oh, what might that be? The prop Uendo used was... This TV was used to view what was happening on the stage. Prosecutor Blackville, when he came to the dressing room, what was Zuindo doing? He was performing time sober. Blast! Could it be? Yeah, it could and it was. What you and Guru heard was not Master Tornado practicing his routine. It was Zuindo's performance as heard through the TV monitor speakers. I have told you that from the beginning.
What?
But the TV just inside the inner door of the dressing room could have easily been heard from that hallway outside. And because we knew Master Tornado was scheduled to perform time sober, we were easily manipulated into thinking he was still alive at the time rehearsing. Yeah, your knowledge of the day's program was why you two could be fooled this way. Simon, did the voice you hear belong to Master Tornado? With the doors in the way, I couldn't tell exactly who the voice belonged to. But because I heard time sober, I just assumed it was Master Tornado. Can't believe I was taken in by such a simple mind. All of that is mere conjecture. Where's your proof, defense? Where is yours? Window moved the TV back when he discovered the body. After all, he couldn't very well leave it by the door, because someone might figure out the trick he'd been playing. And there's one more thing about Uwindo's actions that are suspicious. And that is the fact that he flopped so badly on an important occasion. What's so suspicious about that? Even pros slip up once in a while, you know. And I believe this time it was intentional. As Uwindo knew it would be strange to hear laughter coming from the dressing room. Oh my! Yipes! It's all just a bit too perfect to be sheer coincidence. Plus, if the voice Prosecutor Blackwell and Guru heard was due to Uwindo's scheming, the victim's time of death could have been earlier than 4 p.m. In other words, Uwindo could have killed Master Tornado himself. Got you by the stones now, Uwindo. You better confess everything. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? We demand an explanation. Window? I confess. I tampered with the crime scene. He's not confessing to doing it, though. Is the defense's claim about Uwindo Tornado the claim that Uwindo Tornado is the true murderer of this case? If he tampered with the crime scene, then we have to at least consider him a suspect. Hold it! Now wait just 1 minute. Yes, I admit to messing with the dressing room, but I didn't kill Shishio. Then why'd you tamper with the crime scene? I refuse to answer that question. Hang on. Well, I was given food just now. Sorry I stopped you on a thing with no sound. You suspect this witness, then I have a question for you. What could it be this time? Jeez. Uno had absolutely no reason to murder Typhoon Tornado. After all, why would Uwindo kill the man who recognized his skills and promoted him? 'Cause clearly no one was laughing on the TV. That's a reason. His motive was, I can't think of a single thing. Why does motive only matter when it's up to me? It appears you're also not aware of one other fact. And that is that the accused witness visited the dressing room before 4 p.m. as well. Is it not natural, then, to suppose that the accused killed the victim at the time? No. What? Nobody told me Mr. Wen had also gone there before 4 p.m. We were only discussing the time frame after 4 p.m., so I didn't think to mention it. Or rather, I conveniently left it out. But now that you have made the time period before 4 p.m. relevant... Uh-oh. I don't like where this is going. So, you really do not know what your client was doing during that time frame, do you? It was all really very sudden, and... Why did you wait until the very last second to contact me, Simon? Don't you give me that look. And just so you know, Bucky never told me to visit the mass before 4 p.m. either. This sort of thing is exactly why the prosecutor keeps calling us unprepared. Defense will stop squabbling this instant. Sorry, Your Honor. Prosecutor Sadamati, please continue. Thank you, Your Honor. Defense, you know of the soba-making implements in the dressing room, correct? You talking about the equipment for making the soba noodles? Speak of the large bowl that used to mix buckwheat flour and water, the long rolling pin and the special knife that's used to cut the dough into noodles? Precisely. These tools all came from the accused soba shop. You mean they didn't belong to Master Tornado? Mr. Wet had visited the dressing room to give the victim a soba-making lesson, and that visit was before 4 p.m. I'm afraid that after the accused netted the dough and made the noodles, he committed the act of murder. But wait, that doesn't add up. If Mr. Wet killed the victim before 4 p.m., why would he return to the room at a later time?
Hey guys, I'm awake, and I got a skateboard. Wet soba, you're kit and caboodle when it comes to noodles.
Chilled soba, 6. Why does the skateboard have the ad on the bottom of it? I guess 'cause this exact reason. When did he get a skateboard? Why is he allowed to keep the skateboard?
Oh my! Hiya, Miss Chickadee. Hey, Ashimi. Reason I went back because Master Tina ordered uncooked noodles.
Mr. Wet, you're alive!
Well,
How is he still drunk?
oof. Yesterday I brought the noodle making tools to the dressing room at around 2 p.m. That's when Master Tornado ordered uncooked soba noodles to stock up on.
Uncooked noodles to stock up on?
Yes, ma'am. Master Tornado kept a supply of soba noodles from my shop in his fridge. Up, there it goes. Why did I bring this with me? Oh well. He only had one serving left, so I went back to my shop to get some more, and that took 2 hours.
One serving of noodles in the fridge, but I thought the fridge was practically empty? Anyway, the whereabouts of the missing noodles isn't all that important now, but I'm sure it'll come up later. I'm sure that's probably what strangled him to death. Ran to me and Giru when he came back delivered uncooked soba, correct?
That's right, Shimey. I made some time out of my busy day to deliver him the noodles, and wouldn't you know it, he died! Wasting my dang time. See if I ever deliver to the graveyard again. Boom. And you know what? He ignored me when I called to him from the inner doorway. He just kept mumbling Rakugo lines for ages. So I got mad and went back to my soba shop.
So that's why you got mad. What he's saying is true, there's no way he could be the murderer.
I swear I'm telling the truth, Miss Chicker. The bailiff, quick! Get this man to the infirmary.
Why is he still drunk? Stop giving him stuff. Can soba noodles be mixed with alcohol?
I dare say he's quite the handful.
Your Honor, please accept the statements Mr. Wet made just now into evidence.
Objection.
I believe the accused statement about going to the room around 2 p.m. is true. Though it falls within the victim's estimated time of death.
That opened up the possibility the crime was committed between 2 and 4 p.m. We already knew that. That's some critical information.
Yes, Your Honor. Well, in the other than that point, Mr. Wet's statements are dubious and without proof. But they are the words of the defendant himself. Simon, back me up here. He has a point. If I were the prosecutor, I wouldn't accept them either. That's not... Whatever.
I understand the defense's feelings on the matter. This court is unable to accept anything other than the time the defendant made his visit.
Now what do I do? I trust you have no further objections, defense. At last, the time has come to send the soul of the victim onward to the Twilight Realm.
Silence.
Silence.
What are you yammering about, Prosecutor Sadmuck? We still have something we need to question the window about. You do? Like what? Don't just stand there. But we don't have any evidence left to present. You've forgotten already. And there's still a hidden witness you've yet to question. A hidden witness? The dog? No, wait, that's right. Your Honor, there's still one issue we haven't finished discussing yet. Oh? What's this bit of unfinished business? Haven't finished discussing this issue related to window. Owen? Let's have to discuss the possibility of a fourth personality. The one named Owen. Now, are you suggesting the fourth personality of the windows might be the true culprit? Geez, not that again. I told you we didn't know anything about this Owen. Look, Window, I know you don't have any motive to kill your master, but this Owen may have won for all we know. Come clean now, Window. Got another personality stashed away, haven't you? Please tell us everything you know about Owen. That's enough. The witness has already stated that he knows not of any Owen character. Bravo! You tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. That's clearly false. Hey, Batches. You claim you don't know Owen when you really do. That's tantamount to perjury. You want to exercise your right to remain silent, however, well, that's a different story. Do not listen to the depraved prosecutor, witness. You will be tainted with his evil. Any idea how dark and cold a prison cell is? I do. I exercise my right to remain silent. What's this now? Changing horses in midstream, are you? Shut up! I'll remain silent and that's it. Patches, you fool! You stay out of this! Badger's not the brightest bulb in that box you call a noggin, is he? The fact that he switched from an I don't know any Owen to I'll remain silent, proof that he does know about an Owen. There it is again. Simon's formidable psychological manipulation tactic. Particularly he's on my side today. Objection. You dirty, despicable, depraved prosecutor! You were leading the witness! Witness, there is no need for you to submit yourself to the defense's questioning. Objection. Your Honor, Unduendo's definitely hiding something. Please allow me to question the witness about the existence of an Owen. I suppose only this witness can confirm or deny the existence of an Owen for us. Or, you know, get a doctor in here. Very well, I'll allow the defense to proceed. Palukuka. Didn't they already kind of admit that they know an Owen? I mean, heck, he manipulated the crime scene. That's proof enough. I never met any personality named Owen. Patches, which is blurting out nonsense in a panic. We're always aware, so we're definitely noticed if a personality like that showed up. How dare you treat me like a criminal based on mere conjecture? How dare you get your friend thrown into jail on mere conjecture? Wow, how am I supposed to deal with the testimony of 3 personalities? Letting you prove the existence of Owen here, it's all over. Best screw your courage into the sticking place and attack their testimony head on. Screw your courage to the sticking place? What does that even mean? Alright, I will. Stop piling the pressure on me. I have to draw out some info, anything to drag Owen out to the open. If Owen is the criminal, how are they gonna throw him into jail? Met, huh? Is that how you experience each other? Like people meeting on the street? It's more like all 3 of us are always here. And the personality that's most suited to the moment is the one that comes out. So when you're out a window, what are you other 2 doing? Well, we never know when our turn will come, right? So we stand by and listen. That means all 3 of you share the same memories? I never really thought about it, but I guess that's right. I see, thank you. Please continue.
Patches, can I have a word with you, please? Why, hello, you rang? You said at first that you didn't know anybody named Owen, but then you exercised your right to remain silent. Were you afraid of committing perjury? You see... I'll take over from here if you don't mind. Listen, I hate to say it, but Patches is about as smart as a sack of rocks. You're insulting yourself here. If you grill him with a bunch of highfalutin words, he's going to want to keep silent. I see. So looking after those loose-tongued Patches is your role, is it, Miss Kisagawa? Well, I don't know about that, but anyway. I do know that Patches was just flustered, and that's why he decided to remain silent. I'm glad that's also, like, not a real cigar or anything. But what if, for some reason, you three were unconscious at the time of the incident? The three of you weren't alert and aware, what would happen? What would happen? I'm not even sure what you mean. I mean, you three share the same memories, right? But what if Owen's different? What if he has memories separate from yours? Maybe Owen emerges when the three of you are unaware or unconscious. Or, you know, asleep. Instead of speaking as if this fourth personality is a foregone conclusion, I suggest you prove his existence first. Well, we've already seen 3 personalities. A fourth wouldn't be a stretch. You dishonor the victim in this court by jumping to such a conclusion without proof. You ever heard of the old sayings, Prosecutor Sadamati? What happens twice will happen thrice. If you see one, there's likely 30 in your home. You talking about ants? That's how you get ants. I'm basing my theory on such a premise. Comparing us to roaches. Do we bug you that much, girlie? Admittedly, yes. But how do you intend to prove it? How will you prove that all 3 personalities become unconscious, as you say? Unless you can do that, all of this talk is merely empty speculation. Well, don't be so timid. If you don't have it, then just find it. Look for someone that could render Endo and the others unconscious. Simon's right. I can't back down now. For my client, Mr. Wet, I have to. Wait, Mr. Wet?
Let me rest. Maybe if I were a lump of regular sourdough of throwed on noodles. But I'm fresh like my soba. You don't let soba dough rest. It's all about the 3 freshes. Grind the buckwheat fresh, cut the dough fresh, boil the noodle.
And he's dead again. He blacked out. Mr. Wet, falling unconscious. Wait a minute. I think I've got it.
Miss Sykes, you have proof that back up your theory.
Do I? Yes, Your Honor, I do. The proof is right there in this crime photo.
It is? In that case, please point out what supports your theory.
This, most likely, is what caused the window to lose consciousness. The flower, I guess? Or is it the uncooked one? I know he just said it, but I don't remember which one he was talking about, because I don't know soba. But there is one missing here, but I guess that's the one he made? Can I look at the history real quick? Yes. A regular flour for udon noodles. So it is the flour. I hope. Nope. Wait, smacked over the head. That's not what I was going with.
Maybe soft and nog, maybe see a single bruise on my head, do ya?
But a smack is swing and a miss.
Wow, what coincidence, Defense. That's also you. Your assertion was a swing and a miss, too.
Athena, a window didn't need to be hit over the head to lose consciousness. Lord knows Bucky has passed out several times a day without being smacked. Yeah, that's what I was going for, but I don't know what it wants to point to. I also just realized I don't even have the thing on today. There we go. Alright, I don't know what I'm pointing to then. Is it the noodles? That? Cause he's drunk. So, I guess it is the cup. I feel like I'm missing something in this scene, too. Guess that? So he turns into Owen when he's drunk? Makes sense, I guess. I don't know. This is probably what made Uendo lose consciousness. Ah yeah, the sake. It hasn't really been brought up at all. Didn't just like Master Tornado pick a fine brand like Camel. Sake? Oh, you mean rice wine? Oh please, don't call it rice wine. That's so unsophisticated. It's not even wine. Silly girl. I must agree, you need to become more cultured, Athena. Still 18. Tomato, tomato. It's made of rice and people get drunk from drinking it, right? Called sake in the store. Fine, sake it is then. Ay, caramba. Everyone's so touchy about these things. Recall Master Tornado would often have a drink or two before performing. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to the drink at all. I was focused on soba. But also it's called Camel, huh? How convenient. Said it made him more eloquent. Drinking too much of the stuff can make one lose consciousness though, of course. And look, there were 2 glasses on the table. Winda, I believe your master offered you some sake. And then you must have drank too much and passed out. That's when your 4th personality, Owen, emerged. Puh. I drank sake. Oh, that's a good one. And we have a real sweet tooth, you see, so yeah, we did accept sugary red bean bun. Is that what that is? But since we really dislike sake, we said no thank you to that. Believe it or not, we're really weak when it comes to booze. Even a tiny drop can knock us right out. So you see? I had a sweet mandarin bun, but I didn't drink any sake. What? That can't be right. Literally. Defense demands the glasses be examined right away. You amateur, did you really think I had not already done so? It's you, so yes. Your foolishness is beyond the pale. Don't tell me. There was no trace of the witness having touched either of the glasses, naturally. But right, of course. Miss Sykes, would you like the witness' statement added to his testimony? Yes, please, Your Honor. Very well. A sweet mandarin bun, but I didn't drink any sake. Press it first. If you had even a teeny sip of sake, you'd conk right out, huh? That's why you didn't touch the glass that Master Tornado offered, correct? Yep, that's right. Maybe you ate something that had sake in it as an ingredient? I don't recall doing anything like that. Doesn't recall doing it. That doesn't necessarily mean he didn't. He might not have known that he did. I better take another good look at the evidence. So we didn't drink any sake, huh? Gotta answer exactly why Sad Monk keeps insulting you. Now use your head. Countless ways the window could have gotten sake in his mouth besides drinking it. I don't know about the countless part, but nothing. Give it some thought and you'll figure something out. Okay. It'd be the thing he ate, that he just admitted he ate. Or not. My own guess incoming. Widget, shush. Not supposed to tell. It's like I got the thing, but I don't know what they're wanting me to actually say. Youch. It too, Widget. At least we get to say Widget, or see Widget betraying us. I guess it's the camel thing then. Why I can't use the other thing to present it? Well, whatever. Oh well. This shows what most likely made Uendo lose consciousness. That note. Are you feeling lightheaded, child? Perhaps a bit peckish? Yeah, like I wanted to point at the box that clearly has camels on it. Or at the cup that clearly spilled into the box too, but... I'm not hungry and my head feels just fine, thank you very much. But oh well. I guess it's because we just looked at the picture. You wouldn't look at it twice. Look at the paper this note is written on. Isn't there something familiar about it? What exactly is your point, Defense? This faint design here reminds me of the paper from... Yep, it's a piece of the wrapping paper on the box of manju buns by the victim of the floor. And they even used the picture! Whatever. Window, you may not have drank any sake, but you did eat a sweet red bean bun, right? Well, yeah, that's right. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, Uwindo, but I believe the manju you ate caused you to fall unconscious. The bean bun? But how? Because those buns contain a secret ingredient. A very punchy secret ingredient at that. A punchy secret ingredient? Yes. The design on the wrapping paper matches that of something else in the room. It does? Are you paying attention? This design on the object matches that of the Majun Bun's wrapping paper box. This giant stinking camel here. I'm glad the camel was explained. Camel patterns, the same as the one in Camel brand sake. As the window said, he didn't drink any sake per se, but he did eat some. Impossible. Window had a Camel brand red bean bun, which boasts a nice shot of sake as one of its ingredients, or at least, you know, I hope so. They couldn't just have their own snack brand that has nothing to do with sake. Oh, the defense claimed that Uendo passed out after consuming a Camel's sweet bun, which allowed the fourth personality named Owen to emerge. Is that correct? Yes, Your Honor. That's exactly what I'm claiming. One thing that bothers me. Wouldn't the alcoholic content of the buns be evaporated as they're steamed? In order to give them a stronger flavor, some manju are specially made to retain as much of their alcoholic content as possible. What kind of lightweight do you think I am? Even I wouldn't pass out from eating a simple manju. And how about we test that theory? What do you say, Your Honor? Only if I get one. Seeing is believing, as they say. Very well, I'll allow a test. Thanks, Your Honor. Simon, go buy us some camel manju in the double. Don't forget to get me one too, okay? What? Why must I... And while you're at it, Prosecutor Blackwell, you'll get one for me as well. Not the courthouse stable boy, you know. Taka. But just this once without a quest. Taka, I'm counting on you. You'll get one too, boy. Don't worry. Yeah, I know. And all you better pay me back. Oh, but I thought it'd be your treat, Prosecutor Blackwell. What a shame. Now then, let's adjourn to the manju arrived to Carrier Hawk. By Carrier Hawk. Or will reconvene as soon as Taka returns. Yeah, I regretted it as soon as I said it. Did he give Taka money? I assume Taka has his own little tiny wallet. That or he'll just, you know, pick up some money. Ow. That said, I do have food here. There it is. Now the sweet buns have arrived. This court is back in session. Well, I'm glad I'm not alone on that. I am sorry that I'm dumb. And got so many things wrong. But I don't know if we should take a long break here or a simple break. Well, the drink one was. Like, I didn't even really register the drink was there. Like, I knew it was there. Like, oh, there's a spilled cup here. I'm sure that'll be important. But I didn't register it as sake. I don't drink. The only kind of drink I've ever seen is whiskey, and, you know, I stayed away from that. It appears that the dinner I was given is actually just a bunch of fries. I don't really live off potatoes, you know. Oh well. It was a gift, so I can't complain. Nope, just regular, straight fries. From the Burger Kings. I've heard from my mother that I am very slightly Irish, but I don't know what that means, nor do I care. I live in Ohio. I might as well be everything and also nothing. But how long do you think we have on the rest of this case? Considering we jumped to the court adjourning part, I'd assume there's quite a bit left just on this trial alone with Owen coming out. Also, there is a little camel on the bean bun. Never had a bean bun. Not really a thing over here. Ow. It's also weird that they gave us such leeway with the table clearly being moved, but not leeway with the paper. They're so inconsistent. But either way, I think I will be taking a break for right now. I don't know if I'll return or not. Probably not. But I think this is a good stopping point with Taka just sitting there, twisting his head back and forth. So I hope you all enjoyed our grand adventure. I can't wait to deal with a clown again, because I'm sure she was hiding something. Yeah, still a good chunk, and I'm sure... Well, I'm not really sure, but we might have to investigate at some point. But then Apollo will be back, and I don't know, I don't really want Blackwell to be replaced. But that'll be it for right now, I think. I'll have to practice random voices for Owen. I don't know what they're like, but considering they might be a murderer, probably something dumb. But I will probably see you all later. I'm gonna go find actual food that isn't just a bunch of fries. And I will get back to this courthouse. It's definitely something. I wonder if they're gonna look the other way. They're gonna turn around. I don't know. I'm too curious. But maybe I'll go get some soba noodles. But thanks for watching. Boy for now.